And welcome back to Lindenwood University's Twitch channel. We are doing a show match today. I am one of your hosts, Amanda Kerschel. With me, Xander Hill. Xander, how's it going?
I am doing quite good today. We for sure have a fun one ahead of us. Today, we are not in any leagues. We are going to be altering things up. We're going to be playing a best of 7 against SIUE. And we're going to go ahead and get straight into things with our first pre-show event. Again, if you were with us 2 days ago, you would have seen our match against Syracuse. It was an absolute nail-biter of a match, game after game, fight after fight, went all the way down to the ending sections of Game 5, and we are going to go ahead and jump straight into a highlight reel and show off some of the top moments from that game.
We are back. We are welcoming once again our coach for the Lindenwood team, Cam. Cam, how are you doing today?
It's been a busy day, whole day. Not a moment of peace, but I'm having a good time so far and looking forward to the event.
Absolutely. Glad to hear it. So, first things first, we saw a hell of a fight go down Tuesday's match against Syracuse. What do you think your team's biggest point of improvement over last season was for just watching that match? And what do you think they need to work on the most just from them?
I think that sometimes they have a hard time swapping when they're running their head into a wall, and a lot of the time I try and prepare them for that by giving them an option, like an out. If that's not working, swap to this, or if this is what's stopping you, then swap to this. But it just takes them a little while to put it in practice because a lot of the time their skill will bring them so close to winning. So it's really, really hard. It's like the gambler's mentality, when you don't want to give up when you think you're about to win the fight. Um, so they just keep going, keep going. It's just something I gotta get out of their habits, I guess. As far as how far they've improved, I think that there's a lot of carry potential in their DPS line right now. And we're seeing a lot of picks get pulled off that we weren't seeing last season. So our DPS line has been a big point that the enemy has not figured out ways to deal with yet.
Absolutely, absolutely.
For sure. And then, yeah, as you mentioned with that gambler's mentality part, after such a close game five, where literally hitting a single headshot could have made the difference between winning or losing the game, would you say that overall the series, and more specifically the game five, was more of a motivator for the team going into the future or more of a detriment?
Um, I think it's difficult overall to take a win, take a win as a detriment or a loss as motivation. Just by nature of winning and losing being incredibly binary, people have tried for years, especially in competitive sports, to make
For sure.
losses motivational and wins that turn enemy wins into detriments to them. And it's really difficult. It takes a lot of brain power, but overall, I think they handled the loss very well. And I think that moving forward, this isn't going to be a hindrance to them, but I would be hard pressed to say it was a motivator.
That does make sense. It is tough to see it that way. So, who would you say surprised you the most with their performance Tuesday's game?
Um, I think that two people surprised me a lot. Um, with our main tank, Euchlorian Kale, he he's had a tough time with syncing up with Finn the human. And in the past, like they've tried to play off of each other, but it hasn't worked. One of their big things on Lijon's first map was Kale was getting too aggro in the first and second round, and Finn wasn't able to keep up with him. So Finn told him in the third round to play more passively. And I don't think he was expecting Kale to actually listen. So in the third round going into it, a couple things got dicey because Kale did listen, and because Finn didn't expect him to, Finn was playing more aggro to try and keep up with his tempo, and they ended up trading spots of Finn being way too overly aggro and Kale being too passive. So they actually listened to each other, and neither of them were expecting it, and it ended up getting things muddled up. So that surprised me a little bit.
For sure. And then stepping away from the match a couple of days ago and looking more for tonight, do you think we're going to be seeing any big composition changes or anything that's definitely noteworthy going into today's show match?
I think that we saw that champion was working decently well for us, so we want to give that more of a try. And we want to give some more hard brawl a try. In the past, we've done a lot of dive and rush, which are more fragile comps. But I think that this lineup likes to take their time a little bit more than our previous lineup. So it'll be good for us to try these more brawl and champion centric comps.
For sure. Well, we don't want to take up too much of your time. You have anything else you want to throw in real quick, Amanda?
I
Not
think we
really.
think we heard a lot of good stuff from you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, and I just wish you guys good luck with the stream. It's going to be a long one.
Appreciate it. Good luck with the match today.
It's interesting to hear the
Ellen.
coordination thing he was kind of discussing with between Euclorian and Finn the Human.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that goes into a bit of not only strategizing for these specific Overwatch rounds, especially on a mode like Control, but really any sport where you can't physically see the person and read for any type of body language of you don't know what that person is going to do. And as we mentioned, and as we saw partially in those Li Zhang games, just a slight bit of communication leads to players being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And although fortunately, I do believe we were able to pick up the Li Zhang game yesterday, it was very potentially dangerous for the game, seeing your DPS going too far forward, or rather past the tank, risking getting picked off, or seeing vice versa, the tank simply being too far ahead. We've seen some amazing May walls, some very good plays, splitting up the tanks from the team, and I think going forward, it's definitely going to be something that Lindenwood are going to have to keep an eye on, just especially if we keep seeing the same quality of May players that we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's important for tank players, especially. It's a hard mindset to get into, but it's just taking damage is just a really big thing. And they just want to try to stop doing that and try to play more passive. And I think we saw a lot of that from Euclorian after the call was made.
For sure. And I do believe we're going to go ahead and get underway to our next item on the agenda. As for the first time, at least in my history with the team, we're going to be going ahead and interviewing SIUE, Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville's captain, as we're taking a moment to get him into the call right now. Anything that you think is going to come interesting from this?
Right?
I think he got dragged one call too far down.
Yeah. One moment. Be interesting to see the thoughts of another captain and the thoughts of another team coming in. And hello, Cam. How are you doing today?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Doing
Doing just
all right.
fine. It's great to meet you. We want to start off just by asking how your team's feeling going into tonight's show match.
Yeah, we're feeling good. Everyone's feeling loose. I definitely think that everyone's getting locked in for sure. This is all very exciting. So we're trying to get ready, get everything set up, and then go to work.
For sure. And I have kind of a two-part question. You guys had a match this week a couple days ago, correct?
Yes.
How did that go? Tell us a bit about that match.
Yeah, so we started out week one of Nate Star League, and so we went out there. We do scouting before our games. We kind of know what we're going to be doing when we're going into it. Um, and we did. We started out a little shaky, but we kind of got locked in, and from then on we were just kind of going. We were rolling from there.
For sure. And how would you say it's prepared the team for your guys' match tonight against Lindenwood?
Oh, I think it set us up very very good. Like that team they were tough. Like it wasn't a a cakewalk. So I'm very happy to kind of where we're at right now. I think we're feeling good. We're feeling loose, and so I think it's prepared us pretty well for this match.
For
For
sure.
sure. Love to hear it. Next, we just want to hear a 1 to 2 sentence description of each of the players tonight. So I'll start off with your tank player. So 1 to 2 sentence description of your tank player.
Well, the tank player happens to be me, so this one's gonna
Oh.
be pretty easy. Um, so 1 to 2 sentence, I would probably say, I don't know, maybe like the best to ever do it would sum it up pretty nicely.
There you go. There you
Um,
go.
um, I would do that. Leader, I like to keep these guys in shape. We kind of go from there.
I'd love to hear it. Good to have the confidence.
For
Next,
sure.
we'll go into one of your DPS players, either one.
All right, so I'll say enforcer. I'll say he is a steady rock. Someone to very like much rely on. Someone that you can count on always.
Awesome. Awesome. And the next DPS player?
Dog is a Dog is a playmaker. Yeah, the things he does on what he does is just disgusting. I don't know how he got that good, but he's maybe the hard carry is what I describe him as.
Yeah, fair enough.
Love to hear it. Next, one of the support players.
All right, for support, I'd say so Pyro. This guy um is like the glue. This guy keeps everybody together, keeps us together. We don't falter. We don't lose sight because he's reeling us in. I call him the glue.
Love to hear it. It's a good trait for a support player, I think.
Hmm.
And next, the second support player.
Yeah, Madison is Madison's like the almost like the control. Like when we try to go out too far, Madison's usually the one to bring us back in. Like we're getting a little too overzealous. Kind of put the reins on, reel us back in. That's what Madison excels at.
And then we obviously haven't had much opportunity to see you guys play here on the Lindenwood stream, but is there any picks or compositions or anything super noteworthy character-wise that we should be potentially looking out for if we see it? Any
Y-
crazy pocket picks, one-trick type characters?
Yeah, you're definitely gonna want to spectate Thog when he locks Genji, and then I don't know if I play Doom, you might want to watch that one too.
All right, keeping an eye on the Doomfist and the Genji. Well, we're gonna go ahead and let you get back to your team. Gonna wish you luck in tonight's matches.
All right, I appreciate it.
Great.
As definitely some interesting insights, of course. Haven't really had a lot of opportunity to see these players play, but hearing, I definitely liked the analogy of comparing all the players on the team to an object. I feel like, although could be kind of weird, it definitely gives an insight into how at least he sees each of the players on the team and the basic role that they fill.
Yeah, I think he did a good job of giving them like a good, short, concise
Absolutely.
like description, and it all makes sense for what they're playing. So, love to hear it.
Yeah, for sure. I believe we have one more interview that we're going to get to in a moment. But yeah, again, keeping in mind for the match tonight, we are looking at a best of 7. So could potentially end it out with one team taking a 4-0 win. One team could end up bringing it all the way to game 7. Amanda, I know you know that we're a big fan of taking predictions here. Give me it, even if you don't pick a winner, how many games is this series going to?
All 7. We're doing
Oh, you think
every
we're going
last
7?
game. It's gonna go crazy. We're gonna have some Sojourn players. Both of the teams are gonna have Sojourn. They're both gonna pop off. It's gonna be nuts. That's
I
what's
feel
gonna
like I feel like you're more looking into a mirror in the past. I feel like these are things that we've
happen.
seen pretty recently.
Well, it's Sojourn. All right, next up, we've got another interview incoming. It's going to be Lindenwood's Captain Kellen Ronan Williams coming in very shortly. And welcome, Kellen. How are you doing today? Are you there, Kellen?
Sorry, it took a while to connect.
All good, no
There we
worries.
go.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
You know, we're streaming, got a lot going on. We're just gonna jump right into it right now. What would you say? So we're gonna talk a little bit about competitive Overwatch and kind of like the meta right now and kind of what's
Yep.
going on game wise. So I'm just gonna start off quick and simple. What would you say is the current meta of the game?
I think the current meta of the game right now is definitely Rush with Mei is super good right now in addition to Sombra, and combining those and with a Lucio and a JQ, yeah, you just rush on teams and there's not a whole lot of comps that can beat a Rush performed well.
For sure. And then speaking of that composition, of course, we saw several of those characters that you mentioned there in the games yesterday. How would you say that you and the team are adapting to it? Do you think you guys are handling it well, struggling on some parts?
I think we're handling it fairly well. It's one of our better comps and we can mirror if if another team runs it. Uh, and it shouldn't remain that way for too long with some of the upcoming changes. So I think we'll be fine.
Good, glad to hear that. And we have seen you play it a bit. I saw it in some scrims, and then I've seen it, of course, in game day on Tuesday. Um, but speaking of which, are there any big changes coming to the game that you think you're ready to prepare for or adapt to? Anything like that?
Yeah, there were some potentially leaked changes that would buff all of the characters helpful in the game, and I think that's going to make um, Dive and Poke really strong. I think Rush will kind of fall out of meta or become even stronger with some of with how good the increased HP pools make AoE healers. So we could run back into a Jotes meta like we had in the beta of Overwatch 2. But we'll have to see how it plays out because there's no telling how big those changes will affect the game.
Right, they're just leaked right now. There's not even
Mhm.
a guarantee just
No
yet.
company
So
can-
makes sense. Makes sense.
And then, yeah, looking a bit more into your actual team play, tell us a bit about how you and the team feel as players you guys did in your match on Tuesday.
We definitely had a lot of big mistakes on Tuesday that a lot of us took to heart and are going to be improving upon. I think that this is some of the best the team has ever been at Lindenwood.
I think it's only going to get better as we play more and more games, do more and more scrims. And right now we're just trying to expand our comp pool so that we can comfortably play basically any comp. That's just our plan for the next couple of weeks, I think.
Sure.
Great, sounds great. As someone who's been there for a long time, I can say I agree with you. I think this team is probably one of the best Lindenwood's ever seen. So we're rooting for you over here. Very excited to see tonight's match and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you
Alrighty.
so much for joining us, Kellen. We're gonna go ahead and let you go. Get ready for your game. Thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, we've gone through a couple of interviews tonight. We've gone through an interview with our coach, that is Cam. We've gone through an interview with their captain, who is also named Cam. Went through that interview there with Kellen, and we've talked a bit now, but to both players on both teams, our coach. But now we're going to look at a bit of a pre-recorded interview from the 314 Arena, which is just newly constructed, and where all 10 of these players are going to be playing from today.
Hi, my name is Cam. I'm the student manager of the Lindenwood Esports program, and we're here today at Fusion 314 to do an interview with the person who's basically behind almost all of this. This is Evan, and we're going to be doing a LAN show match tomorrow against SIUE varsity and junior varsity with Lindenwood's varsity and junior varsity teams for the Overwatch program. Now I've got some basic questions for you.
Okay.
Can you tell me like a little overview of your space, what you guys offer?
Yeah, so Fusion 314 is a community rec center housed in the James J. Egan Civic Center. It's ran by the city of Florissant. We have 20 gaming PCs, 4 console stations, fully furnished, couches and seating areas, cool decorations, and we're planning on being open in the middle of next month.
What specifically, is there any like specific event, or was it more of a domino effect that motivated you to starting this whole place?
Yeah, so this has been a project in the works for about 2 years from the city. I've been on for about 5 months, so this room has completely transformed in the past 5 months.
Okay.
And the city really wants to provide something not only that our youth is going to enjoy, but get new with the times.
Yeah.
We still got basketball courts, we still got baseball fields, but
sure.
this is something that's growing. It's a product that people want,
Right.
and I think we've done a pretty good job to be able to offer a pretty premium experience with our hardware and peripherals and the state of the room with a pretty reasonable rate for our residents.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's also like you have like rec teams for football, for soccer, even tennis.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty inaccessible thing for a lot of people, especially because a lot of parents don't want to buy their kids setups like this, which can keep you competitive in the atmosphere. So
Sure.
for even less than a fraction of the cost, they can come in and get this kind of stuff. And you said you wanted to get colleges involved, so maybe little
Yeah.
coaching opportunities as well?
Yeah, so we're starting small locally. So we're trying to work out a deal with the Ferguson and Florissant School District to house a lot of their esports athletic programs
Right.
here. It's a lot to maintain a esports facility. There's updates, there's messes, there's
Yeah.
people coming in asking questions, and those are all great things. But for a school infrastructure,
Yeah.
even at the college level,
Yeah.
there's a lot of times staffing issues, budget issues,
For sure.
to where we can facilitate and manage all that stuff and take care of the hard stuff. You guys just
Right.
gotta show up and play.
And a lower level risk that the school
Yeah.
doesn't need to take on, spending thousands on computers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll take that risk for them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Just going off the idea of pandering to the community, getting community involvement, making sure that they're happy, satisfied
Sure.
with the place, and wanting to come back. Other than getting them like the games they want to play, providing exactly what they want, what's your like outreach? What's your main strategy in getting people in the door in the first place?
Yeah, so this is a very high foot traffic building. There's a lot of people that come in.
Yeah.
I think we've done a phenomenal job, not only on our social media marketing. Our pages have grown very quickly in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
But also just the branding of it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of new. It looks cool. People are talking about it,
Yeah.
and it's not really. I think the biggest appeal on that side we have is, you don't expect the city of Florissant to do something like this.
Yeah.
So the fact that you come in here that first time, you're like, whoa,
It's also
what's all
really
this?
hard to miss. You
Yeah.
got that bright, colorful sign out front, so even if you don't know what it is, coming and looking, you get a lot of foot traffic at least by the door. The very
Shout out to
minimum.
Spray Paint Joe on the sign.
Yep. Well, you did a great job.
Yeah.
You talked about wanting to do tournaments. You've talked about wanting to build community, but you've also talked about wanting to involve colleges in this kind of an activity. How are you going to be able to strike a balance between being a mainly competitive heavy play space versus being a casual gaming play space?
Yeah, so I mean, our hours of operation for now are Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So while that is our hours of operation, open play is probably going to be 60 to 70% of the time.
Okay.
And for certain nights that we're hosting events, it'll be just like an event venue where we're, running a tournament or facilitating someone else's tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely Facebook and Discord are our two biggest outlets.
Okay.
They allow that instant communication. We also try to just schedule things out as far as we can.
Sure.
Our computers use a reservation system, so we only have 20 seats for the PCs. So if you want to be sure, like, hey, next Tuesday, the boys are coming up here.
Yeah.
You can reserve time. It could be 30 minutes. It could be 6 hours.
Okay.
And that's like the guaranteed way to get your time.
Just first come, first serve for however much
Yeah.
money you want to spend on it?
Exactly.
Cool, okay. Well, thank you very much for having us, and we
Yeah.
look forward to using the space tomorrow.
Welcome back to the broadcast. We are going to next talk about some, or not some, the maps that will be played tonight, or the lineup of maps that could be played tonight. Starting off with Oasis for our first control map.
I think Oasis on its own is an average control map, but I do like the map pool starting with control. I think Nace has it right with their map pool. I think control is a really good way to start a match. It's a nice like calm way to start a set off, I think. I feel like control is the best map one that you could get.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure most tournaments start off with. It makes sense. It really does.
It just makes sense. It feels right.
Yep, and then Oasis, the one with all the university, the one with all the books or something like that.
Amen.
Your favorite one.
Library.
Amen.
Library. Amen.
And then
Kings
next up
Row
is
second.
Kings Row. Yep, we saw a fantastic match on Kings Row that didn't end so amazingly, but the whole game went pretty. It was a pretty good fight, I would say, in the last match.
The first two regulation rounds were very back and forth, very fun rounds, and then the overtime ended in, I think it was 9 seconds. It was unfortunate. Then the third map, I had to look it up. I'd never heard of this map. Shambali Monastery. It's an escort map. I know how much you enjoy escort. Do you have something against the escort game mode, or is it just that map pool in the other
It's against the
set?
game mode, but
Okay. So you also hate
Shambali.
Shambali Monastery.
I can't say that I do. I think it's one of the better
Okay.
ones. I really
Okay.
do. And I don't know why I say that, but I feel like I don't hate playing it when it comes into my map rotation. But
See,
it's not a terrible map.
I'll have to wait till we get in game on it to see it, but I feel like I've never seen this map before. I pulled up this little map guy, and I looked at it and I said, "What is Shambali Monastery?" I guess I just have never seen the name. Then fourth, go on to push. I'm fine with that. Esperanza, it's a fun map. It has some high points, some low points. I'm definitely fine with that being on the map pool. Although I will say, if it is a 4-0 sweep, it's an unfortunate match to end on.
Esperanza have a love-hate relationship with it, I think. I'm not a huge fan of playing it, but it's okay. It's pretty. I'll give it that. It's pretty. It's a pretty map.
That's what we need to base every map on.
Yeah, just attractiveness, and that's it.
Amen. Bring back Assault, bring back 2CP. All of the 2CP maps looked good. Hanamura Volsky, they looked good. Talk trash on the game mode all you want. The maps looked good. There we go.
Next on, next
There's my argument.
next up, we got everyone's favorite Flashpoint. Yeah, totally my favorite. And we're gonna be on Servasa. We were on.
It's a map. Yeah.
It's a map. We were on New
We
Junk City
yeah.
Tuesday. We're on Servasa this time around. If we make it to that game, hopefully, love to see more than 4 games. Good map. Nothing important to say about it other than it's Flashpoint, and that's disgusting.
Hollywood. Hollywood
Hollywood.
is one of the hybrid maps of all time.
I think Hollywood is a great map. It
You're a
is
fan of Hollywood?
very high cal. Absolutely, it's a great
I
map.
hate the first push point on Hollywood. I hate it.
It can be frustrating, but
The bridge over the buildings is always it always gets to me. It's always there. And I just complain about it because I personally don't like it.
I think it's just it's like just a staple of Overwatch, just original
That's
Overwatch.
fair.
Overwatch
That's fair.
1,
Yeah.
when I think of Overwatch 1, I think of Hollywood, and of course, um, Hollywood's just one of those. Going on next to Nepal.
I'm
I
fine
love
with it.
Nepal.
Yeah,
I like Nepal.
it's a classic staple. It's a good control map. I have no issue with that being a potential game 7. I could see like a round 3 temple on Nepal game 7 going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and I would love to see a game 7 where it's not, Circuit Royale, a sniper match. Not
That
not the
was
most fun thing ever, but
uh
Nepal can be. Nepal can be a great time.
yeah, for sure. And then we are going to head to just a little bit of a break while we get everybody into the lobby, get everything situated, and we will be back in just a few minutes with map 1 on Oasis.
Get started with some Monkey v Diva here. Both teams have the sim. I could bet they're going to switch off as soon as they TP out. Got a Sojourn and a Tracer on both sides, on one side and the other.
That is a deep dive. They have Genji, Tracer, Winston, Kiri. That is going to be hunting players on the back line as already in for a disruptor shot coming out from Sojourn, just trying to peel away some damage, get a bit of ult charge, just poke coming out right now. Zone 5 seconds total unlocked, but the Monkey's going to jump in. They're trying to find a play onto Diva, but Euclorian just not going to take up enough damage, blocks it away with the defensive matrix. As now Diva trying to play pretty aggressive, tanking up a bit more damage. As Lindenwood, they're taking a lot of damage, but Monkey's going to get taken down. Cassie finds the pick. Zippy Bloom going to get that first kill. 5v4 for Lindenwood as Tracer stuck on the back line, trying to find a play on this Brig, but Ether not allowing any space to get eaten up as Diva on the front line putting down some crazy damage onto Pyro, gets taken down by Ether, and Lindenwood are going to be in complete control of the point. Tracer floating around trying to stall, but not going to find enough value as Lindenwood will take the first control of the first point of the series.
Kellen, or first of all, Ronan already has Nano starting off just from that first fight, but it's important the SIUE running this dive composition, Lindenwood's gonna have to keep an eye on their Ana, keep an eye on their supports, and that's what they just did, and that's why they won that fight.
And yeah, the Nano comes out. You see Cassidy getting that kill. Headshot onto the Genji. He's going to take him out quick. As Finn, though, retraded back by the Tracer. Pulse Bomb comes out now as Euclorian going to get a kill onto Gore as the Brigade gets knocked away by that Pulse Bomb. Tog doing quite good in this fight, getting rid of that back line. But D.Va holding out for a while. Zippy with the Deadeye on that Cassidy, trying to find something to shoot at. Just holding it down. Almost finds the shot onto Lucio. Can't get it clicked in time. As now it's just the D.Va. Euclorian trying to stall on the point. Has the ult ready. It does indeed decide to throw it out. It's going to get blocked by the Monkey Bubble for now, but Euclorian gets the full heal. Kitsune Rush comes out now. It's going to be Gore jumping onto the back line. Lindenwood, they need to just stay alive for the moment. Euclorian going to get knocked out of the mech and gets taken down as Edwardsville going to get control of the point for their first time.
It's a big stall, able to stall it out to 50%. A bomb comes out, yet another stall. Quite good coming out from Euclorian there. We've got 2 ults, 3 ults, 4 ults on the side of SIUE. Lindenwood not quite holding on to much of anything, but once that overclock comes out, we could see a lot of good things coming out from that Sojourn.
And yeah, you have to keep an eye on these ults. There's 4 ults available right now for Edwardsville as they're going to be diving in. It's going to be the Primal Rage coming out. Everything they have available coming out right now, holding on to the Dragon Blade and the Lucio ult. As for the side of Lindenwood, they're pulling up a couple of ults now, but Ether actually going to find the kill on Gore. Monkey's just completely nuked as Lindenwood push ahead now 5v4. They take away the Lucio 5v3. Tracer trying to find something on the back line, but it's going to be Ether on the Brig blocking away all of that space once again. Lindenwood, they're going to repossess the point. Edwardsville, 48%.
Yeah, 2 ults come out from Edwardsville. That Pulse Bomb not quite catching much. And then the ult comes out from Gore. Doing a little bit of displacement there, but mostly giving away some ultimates. Finn the Human and Ronin able to build those ultimates. And then Ether kills him with that whip shot in the last possible second. Going to be a huge ult pool coming out for this next fight.
Oh, Dragon Blade going to come out now. They're trying to find value, but Enforcer going to get hit by the Ana nade, and now he's going to have to try and play it safe, but Gore is once again absolutely nuked. So quick to die on the tank, as now it's going to be Zippy. Deadeye comes out, kills Lucio, and with the missing support and the missing tank, it's going to be a nightmare fight for Edwardsville. 85% for Lindenwood as Tracer goes down, Kiriko goes down, Genji tries to get away, but the railgun shot from Finn will not allow it. 92%, they are going to have to contest.
And that Lucio might just make it. He's got about 5% left, 3% left. The Monkey is going to be the first touch here.
33% on the ult, doesn't really have a good play. Backs away to the team, and they are going to get regrouped for a moment. Lindenwood, though, holding on to a couple ults as Euclorian once again takes away the Monkey instantly. Overclock comes out from Finn. Lucio dead immediately to the railgun, although Tog double kill takes away both DPS. Lindenwood could potentially be in a bit of trouble, missing out with both of their main DPS. Tracer staying alive for the moment. Kitsune Rush comes out, trying to put so much damage down onto the Brig. Ether trying to do everything possible to stay alive, gets healed up by the Ana. 99% Lindenwood looking to close out one more fight as Gore changes off the Monkey over to Doomfist. Barely misses on the punch onto Euclorian as once again the tank's just stalling, as now it's going to be Enforcer on the back line. Both supports are gone. Euclorian is demeched. Going to try and back away. Plays for the fight onto Doomfist. Won't get out. Waiting for the death. Indeed dies as Edwardsville recontrol.
Quite a stall coming out for Lindenwood, and he switches off the Monkey, likely to stall, but the Monkey, the dive, going to be a little bit of a struggle against that Brig on a backline, and then the others, DPS can just get away. D.Va's a pretty good counter to that Monkey, so going to be a kind of tough play for Monkey. So I expect him to stick the Doomfist here. Lindenwood, they've got 2 ults on the board. I expect maybe a Nano coming out in these next couple seconds. Not a lot of ults except for that Blade coming out from Enforcer in this next fight.
Oh, and it is going to come out onto the backline, but he can't find the play. Zippy's going to get the solo kill on to Enforcer. A bit of support as though Tog going to find another double kill. Pulse Bomb gets one, Gun gets another. Doomfist going to, though, get taken down quick and crushed by the mech as Pyrocat. Lucio is taken down to the hunk of steel, falling from height. A swift step, Kiriko backs away to the team as Edwardsville up to 94 of 95%. Tracer buying time as much as they can. Going to get it to 98% as Lindenwood regains regain. This game is going to come down to the next fight. Genji forced to dash on, Enforcer dangerous. Now 1 HP, going to get healed up quite a lot as now the rally comes out from Ether, trying to stay alive, support the team as best as possible. Shield coming out, trying to block up as much damage. Gore has to be careful. It's going to be the Lucio sound barrier coming out now, as it's going to be Edwardsville trying to find it back. Doomfist diving backline. He's going to find the kill onto Ronin's Moira, as now it's going to be Edwardsville fighting for the control of this objective. Again, winner of this fight gets it. Enforcer a kill, and now it's Finn getting a kill before Zippy falls, as Lindenwood now just playing with the D.Va and their Tracer. Chlorian going to get knocked out of the mech, as now it's just Finn the human alive, trying to make the play, looking to stall as much time as possible. Dashes, though, a bit side off the point, as now Edwardsville are going to regain the point here for just a moment, as they'll go up to 99%, but it is going to get touched once again by Lucio, and now there's going to be another chance for a fight. Lindenwood, they try and touch, they are going to stall out for just a little bit of time, but they have to wait for the players to get back. An incredibly extended fight here is Lindenwood. Doomfist going to be diving back in, so many punches going out, as now it's going to be Ronin down, Zippy down, Finn finds a kill back, but Lindenwood, they're down players, Enforcer gets it, and Lindenwood in the last moments aren't able to secure a fight win, and Edwardsville get the first point.
Quite a long fight in that last portion. We had like almost 40% to that 100% in just one really long fight. And what Lindenwood wasn't able, they were able to deal with the Genji fairly well, but Tog was just running rampant in that backline. They weren't able to peel him off in the way they needed to, and Tog really just comes out with that one. And, of course, the rest of the team was there, but, Tog coming out with it.
And yeah, being able to so consistently find not only picks, but double, even in some cases triple kills on that Tracer is definitely a driving force. Pulse Bomb, just such a cheap ultimate to farm up. Being able to secure kills with it, definitely a massive quality for the Edwardsville DPS.
Absolutely, and we're switching it up here. We got an Orisa on Edwardsville's side and an Zarya on Lindenwood's. That's going to be a little bit of an advantage on the Lindenwood side. Zarya is pretty decent into that Orisa, I would say. Lindenwood already kind of takes this high ground positioning, kind of takes the space away from Edwardsville here pretty early on.
Yeah, the Tracer in the backline trying to cause some chaos. Pyro trying to get the knock off the map, but Finn gonna find a kill, which leads to Eucloria in a second. And now Lindenwood 5v3 gonna dive in. Enforcer taken down, Madison taken down, and it's just Tog's Tracer left alive. They're gonna be diving around, but Tog not gonna get anything meaningful, as Lindenwood for the second time this map gained first control of the point.
Just they had the speed, they got there faster, they were able to secure this height, and that's what matters the most right now, is that speed and the securing of this space here. We've got not a lot of ultimate charge going on. Of course, we've got Tracer at 74% in Tog, but not a lot else going on. We got a little bit of a contest coming out from Tog here. Gonna have to force Lindenwood to drop to stop the contest. Not going to happen anytime soon, but Pyrocat is taken out in the process.
And yeah, Lindenwood, they are going to give away a bit of percent on the point, but they were able to open the fight off with that pick onto the back line, as it's going to be a pulse bomb coming out from Tog. Not going to find value this time, though. Finn going to get that kill closed out on the Tracer. Gore now left solo, railgun straight through the dome, as now Finn, absolute pop-off, triple kill for him on the fight, trying to dive forward. Enforcer's taken out, and it's a quadra kill overall for Lindenwood as they regain the point.
That's going to be 3 for Finn the human. Tog takes out that pulse bomb, not quite catching much of anything. I think gives some charge to that Zarya. We've got 3 ults on the board for Lindenwood. Not much else on the board for the other side. We almost have that overclock, almost that that Kitsune Rush. Kitsune Rush can make all the difference here for Edwardsville.
And yeah, Tog on the point once again. It's one play that they've done several times. Lindenwood, they're not playing on point. They try and sneak it, as now it's going to be the grab coming out. It's going to potentially be a Death Blossom angle from Zippy. It's just now getting that ult, and now Zippy going to go out with the Death Blossom, trying to find something, but it's Finn the human finding a double kill. Euclorian gets another Reaper. Zippy Bloom going to find that kill. Now it looks like it's a 1v1 on point. Zippy the Tracer. The Reaper
close.
just doesn't have the help to make it happen. Lindenwood going to lose possession at 64% to Edwardsville's 20.
What a trade back and forth. Huge ults coming out, or huge overclock coming out from Enforcer there. Finn the human hitting some pretty good shots there as well. We've got 3 ults on the board for the side of Lindenwood. Edwardsville only has this grab. Lindenwood used theirs on Gore in this last fight. Not quite able to pick him off, I don't think, from the grab. But they're about to head in now, kind of dealing with Tog on this right side, kind of trying to keep him in check a little bit, I would say. Window comes out pretty fast here.
Yeah, the Amp Matrix not really going to find a ton. They can just jump off the high ground. It doesn't really stay a threat. Window used to buy high ground as Euchlorian going to get the kill onto Enforcer. And now it's going to be the overclock coming out. Everything available coming out. Both Lucio ults are on the field. No player can die for the foreseeable moment. As now they start to fade away. Players able to die. Finn going to immediately punish on a Tog rail gun through the skull once again. And it's going to be a quick kill as Zippy finds a kill onto Gore. That's the tank removed for Edwardsville. 3 players down for them now as Lindenwood going to look to repossess 72-70 with Lindenwood counting.
I have some ults that came out on the side of Lindenwood. They used that rail. They used Ronan's ult, the beat drop, as well as the window. That's going to be 3 coming out for this one fight. Not a lot going on the other side, though. We have this Kitsune Rush almost, which, as we've seen in the past, can come in handy and can win a fight, turn a fight instantly.
It is worth noting that both teams used a decent amount of their ultimate economy in that last fight. Finn, though, actually hunting heads now. Gonna find that kill onto Tog, and a 5v4 could be just what they needed to get this round captured for them. It will be the Kitsune Rush coming out from Madison as Lindenwood fighting into the 5v4 now, trying to keep everybody alive. Euchlorian taking a lot of damage. Zippy, though, gonna get taken down to basically 1 HP, but it is gonna stay alive long enough for the Death Blossom to come out, peeling away. Ronan is dead. Finn gonna get a kill, or Ronan gets a kill, rather, as Finn finds another. Overclock comes out for Enforcer, but gets taken down. Grav comes out, gets another kill taken in it. Ronan the kill to Tog, and it will tie the map up 1 apiece.
The Zarya came out. I think the Zarya came out first, and it was, he was a little bit ahead from Euchlorian. We started off with an Orisa from Gore on the other side. I think Zarya made quite a big difference there. Of course, we saw some fantastic headshots come out from Finn the Human there, too. Some huge ones on Tog and on Pyrocat as well. Kind of started off the fight in their favor, started off the fight with their momentum. We're going to see, it looks like the Doomfist starting off from Gore this time around. And we're seeing a Hanzo as well. That's something we had not yet seen in this matchup.
Oh, look, we're on the library. You see all the books everywhere. As Euchlorian is pulling out the best tank in the game. It's time. It's time. It is time for annihilation.
He's pulling it out, and he does a pretty good job with this character. We should see some good plays come out from Lindenwood's side. And then Gore actually switches it up to the Junker Queen. Kind of already taking a little bit of the Lindenwood. They're kind of even right now with the space control here.
Yeah, one thing you have to keep in mind, the Hanzo and the Mei coming out 1 per team is definitely going to be a thing you have to keep a note on. Both those Hanzo headshots coming out, which are a new factor, and Zippy's Mei walls have to keep an eye as Euchlorian taking up quite a bit of damage on the point. Backs away, though, as Edwardsville are going to find possession of it as more poke comes out. Ronan trying to find a pick, looking to bump someone back into the team as Euchlorian actually going to get taken down in Nemesis form, trying to find a play onto point, but won't find anything meaningful. Enforcer going to get that kill onto Euchlorian as Lindenwood will just fall in the after of the fact. Ronan dead, Ether dead, Finn dead, Zippy dead, and it's an essential team kill for the side of Edwardsville.
We certainly underestimate those rail shots, and I think maybe the Hanzo got a little bit of a shot in too. Euchlorian just fell over, and what's important really to note here is Ether's window. Ether has a window coming into this next fight. Madison not quite on that Kitsune, but pretty close, not quite as far as Ether is. So we should see some of those support ults come out in this next fight here.
And yeah, it's definitely worth noting into a Junker Queen, there's not really any actual shield. If they can get that Matrix set up unpredictably, they can absolutely spray through the side of Edwardsville. As all 5 of them in this little side room, they're looking for a chance to get out, but the Kitsune rush in comes out with a Dragon Strike, and it is going to be a decent, good commit. They're trying to get the kills, but the Maywall's going to peel them to safety for a moment. It's going to be the overclock from Enforcer trying to kill as many Lindenwood players as it can, but they're yet to find a casualty at the moment. Forced to back away is the Sojourn, as now it's going to be jumping in Lindenwood. They're trying to find something. Rampage comes out, going to barely get out of the Blizzard. Gore going to get that kill onto Finn. Now Lucio Sound Barrier comes out. Both teams trying to stay alive, but Lindenwood are going to start taking deaths quicker. Ronan going to get taken down. Euchlorian, Ether both very low. Zippy forced to go into the Ice Crystal to stay alive. Backing away, Gore gets the kill onto Ether, and Lindenwood are looking like they're going to lose this point without a single possession.
Ronan's going to have to get that touch off in 97%. He's able to trigger the overtime. Gonna have to see a huge annihilation come out from this fight from Euphorian. Zippy Bloom gets Gore dry. That's going to be pretty big for them.
Yeah, it is going to be the double kill for them. Euchlorian does go ahead and throw out the Annihilation. Potentially didn't need it, but decided to commit for the guarantee of the site. As now 99% for Edwardsville. Lindenwood just barely passing 10.
Got almost nothing on the board for Edwardsville in terms of ultimates, and we've got an overclock from Finn the Human incoming. Should expect some good things from that, hopefully, from Finn the Human. Not a lot going on for Edwardsville, however, they have this Dragon Strike coming in pretty soon. Gonna be kind of tough to get a ton of value with that, though, given the comp that Lindenwood has.
Yeah, already up to 30% Lindenwood, looking to win fights, but also just stall. They have to get the percent to get back into this round, as now it is going to be the Hanzo ult coming out. It's going to be just tanked up. Tog, though, going to find the kill on Finn the Human, as now it's going to be a Nemesis form coming out. Euchlorian trying to find a play. Zippy and Ether both going to secure a kill, as Lindenwood looking to pick away the rest of these Edwardsville players. Tog taking quite a bit of damage, but won't get finished out. Hiding over in this side room, they're trying to get the pick, as it will finally go down. Tog gonna get taken down, and Lindenwood are able to retain control with 60%.
Quite a hold. I was worried for them once Finn died super quickly without being able to use overclock. Now Lindenwood has this ultimate fight-changing ultimate rather. Zippy Bloom's May ult could come out onto just about any of them. They just have to get that Suzu out and fast. The Kitsune is going to come in.
And now it is
May
going
ult
to be the
comes out
defense of
onto
the
Gore.
Lizard. Gore is just dead. Finn, the Railgun, going to find that kill as Euchlorian 73% toward the next Annihilation. Lindenwood looking to try and get away with taking back round 1 here. This map on Oasis could potentially set the pace for the remainder of the maps we have yet to see, as Nemesis form Euchlorian running in. It's going to be the Lucio Sound Barrier coming out from the side of Edwardsville. Now Counter comes out from the side of Lindenwood. Now it's going to be the Dragon Shot coming out. Overclock is out. Rampage is out. But they just can't get on the point. Basic 9. Lindenwood are just going to steal this point away. Edwardsville, basically the entire team alive. Ults on the board. A fight ready to brew. Euchlorian moments away from Annihilation. Forget to touch the objective, as Lindenwood steal away Oasis and take a game 1 lead.
That was such a big rampage, too. That rampage was absolutely massive. They just couldn't get on the point, I guess. Or they just didn't try. I think there was plenty of opportunity. They just classic C9 there.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, the Rampage looked like it was going to cause absolute insane amounts of damage. It looked like at least a 3-man, maybe a 4-man. I don't think it was 5, but that fight could have gone either way considering the ults Lindenwood had brewing. And then amidst the damage about to pop on screen, the HUD went away, the round score went away, and Lindenwood, they just get away with the round. What an insane map. As we're going to move on to map 2 here in a moment, which is King's Row. Based on map 1, what are we seeing in map 2?
We are seeing Ramatra. I would put money on it. I don't think.
Amen.
I'm pretty sure Lindenwood tried to run a defensive dive on Tuesday on Kings Row, if I remember correctly. I don't see that happening again. I see them running Ramatra through and through. Or maybe JQ. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I'm pretty sure we'll see one of them. And I should expect a Bap Lucio as well. And then maybe May Sombra. We haven't seen Zippy come out with the Sombra just yet in this tournament or in this match, however.
Honestly, I'll say it. I'd be down for the defensive dive again.
You think so?
It
I
it
think
didn't work incredibly well, but I feel like they got a good bit of value out of it in the initial round of defense that they had to play. I don't know that we'll see it. I think that there is definitely the world where they look at it and say, okay, this didn't work. Let's not do it again. But if they do decide that it did good enough that they are justifying giving it another attempt, I definitely can't say that I'd see it and go, oh, wow, I hate this comp. I can't believe they're playing it again. I think I'd be fine seeing it played again.
Yeah, what matters is getting practice in because you can't ever do anything if you don't practice it. So you can't run any comp if it's not practiced. And this is an opportunity to do that maybe if they're on when they're on defense. Is practice that defensive dive with the Winston. Don't Don't know what else they could run. I like I said, I expect the Ramattra to come out from Florian. But we could see anything. It is King's Row. We've seen a lot of different.
Yeah, definitely. Again, unfortunate end to the last map. Always hate to see either team get air quote cheated out of a round, but at the end of the day, half you know that the point is going to tick away at the same time as the rest. Have to be on the site. An unfortunate end for Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville, but they will simply have to take it in stride as moving on to Kings Row. I'm definitely excited to see what these teams are going to run. I think that at some point we're going to see an interesting sniper choice, either a mainstay Hanzo, Widow, Cassidy. I feel like one of those sharpshooting hit scan marksmen are going to sneak their way into this game at some point, and I'm not counting Sojourn.
Well, we're gonna see Sojourn a lot,
I
I
think we're
think.
going to see Sojourn quite a bit. I think Sojourn is just an absolute crazy character if you can hit those real gunshots.
That's true. That's very true. And if you can pull off the Hanzo, also going to be a crazy character to see. I believe it was Tog in the last round that had the Hanzo out the whole time. Um, we've seen Lindenwood, we've seen them struggle maybe a little bit with the Hanzo in the past. So it'd be nice to see maybe the way they've kind of adapted to the Hanzo play and kind of the way they've figured it out, I guess. Because as I've said, we've seen them struggle a little bit with in the past. Maybe they have a strategy now that kind of counters that
I would love the strategy to just be play better.
play.
I feel like anytime you're talking about strategy, you just say we just gotta play better. And I feel like that's a great way to try and outthink actual arguments. Like you have a fair point. Hanzo potentially could be a concern. You want to have something on the sideboard in case the Hanzo comes out. Or if we could just dodge all of the arrows. I mean,
It can be
when it gets
hard
down
though.
to it, when it gets down to it, even if they're playing hit scan, if you just dodge their crosshairs,
It
I
can be
mean, they
hard
just
though.
they
Sometimes
just
the
gotta.
log sometimes the log just comes out of nowhere and you don't know what to do about it.
That's it.
Um
Well, you just kill them first. There we go. There's
yeah, it's a skill issue, right?
if you just
Um,
always have your ultimate up and always use it, then you just deal more damage.
yeah,
Amen. Amen.
absolutely. Amen. Absolutely.
As I do think we're going to head to a little bit of a break here for just a minute or two while we get everything set up for game number 2 on Kings Row.
We are back after some technical difficulties coming out from the audio side of things. We're getting started on King's Row, though. And what did I say? We're seeing a Ramatra come out from Lindenwood.
And yeah, Lindenwood are on the attack. They have a couple of these key characters that we've talked about. They have the Mei, the Sojourn, the Ramatra already going to be in complete possession of the site. As Gore going to be stepping back on to try and stall them out for a bit. As now it's going to be Enforcer getting completely picked off by the ice wall. As now Zippy going to force that pick. And now they're spraying on Gore in quite a bit of danger as well now, as it's so much damage being sent that way. And Lindenwood are looking to mirror a bit of the success found against them in overtime, as already just moments into the game, they've already secured the first objective.
And moments in, we're already 60% to that annihilation. Gore not quite even halfway there. He's at 24% on that rampage. Going to be kind of a big difference in ult charge for those tanks in coming into these next couple fights.
Yeah, Lindenwood, depending on how they hold these ults, how they use them, where they spend them, they could win the next 3 or 4 fights with no major issue.
Yeah, still not even halfway to Euchlorian's ult charge going into this first fight. Lindenwood already kind of rounding this first corner. Not a lot of contest to be had just yet. And Euchlorian at 80%. Gore switches off that JQ, goes to the Orisa. I would say that's a decent call for this fight, for this map, however. Ball comes out, almost blocks Tog off, and gets the Suzu out in a very early fashion from Madison.
As yeah, Lindenwood already trying to push their way through these objective points, looking to turn as many corners as they can. Annihilation's available if Euchlorian wants to use it. They have a couple of things available at their hands, and out it will indeed be the Annihilation coming out. Euchlorian going to find one on Enforcer, as now he's running straight through the back line, trying to find another something either going to get taken, they're going to get that kill onto Gore. As now Lindenwood looking to back away toward the team, and now it is going to be the Tracer Mei zoning in place of Ramatra, who's pushing the cart, and it will be a quick second point for Lindenwood, as they have a whole 6 minutes to go to reach the third.
Very quick second point. All they really had to use there was that Annihilation, and even then the Annihilation wasn't a huge factor in that taking that third point. They were able to take the Genji out pretty fast, but Blade comes out, Nano Blade comes out rather, from Tog. Gets
and
taken
it's just
out
taken down instantly.
so fast.
Dragon
Not a
Shot
lot can be
comes
done there.
out. Hanzo's trying to find something. It's going to be the Matrix coming out. Euchlorian gets that kill. Gore is taken down insta, as now it's going to be walking forward. It's going to be the Ramatra trying to find anything of value, trying to hit onto the Ana taken down, trying to hit the Hanzo taken down, the Kiriko taken down. 3v5 for the side of Edwardsville. Lindenwood, they're just too big of a wall to topple right now.
And they've got ults on the board. That window came out. The only thing that SIUE has right now is that Kitsune rush, and they almost have that Terra as well. Kitsune comes out just like that. Lindenwood has a beat drop to answer it, but they're just going to back out, not going to use anything on it. They have 4 minutes and 45 seconds to get this last point, so they're not going to risk it by fighting inside of the Kitsune. They're just going to let it run out here.
Yeah, Lindenwood, they're looking for a chance to make something happen. They have 3 ults. They're getting close to Euchlorians, but now it is going to be the Blizzard coming out. Terra Surge comes out as well, as now it's going to be Tog finding that kill. Headshot on the railgun, and Zippy going to find that kill, rooting down the Orisa, as now Lindenwood just trying to find a shot. Overclock is out. Finn looking for something lethal. Zippy going to find that kill onto Enforcers. Lindenwood, they're pushing 2 meters to go, and Edwards barely going to touch it with just a moment left, as now the sound barrier comes out from the side of Lindenwood, just looking to do anything they can to stall, but it simply won't matter for the moment. 0.19 meters to go, as now Lindenwood, they're getting the rest of their players back in time. Ramatra is going to get back with 94% ult, could potentially choose to go into Annihilation. 0.19 meters from capturing Euchlorian, going to get that kill. 99% on the ultimate, as now Annihilation comes out. They don't have a counter to it at the moment. Gore, Enforcer taking up so much damage, as now there's no argument to get it away, as with 3:45 to go, Lindenwood will capture the third.
I think Lindenwood was feeling a little bit of what happened on that last King's Row map on Tuesday, and just ran with that moment, ran with that that energy, and we're able to pull that Ramatra. We're able to pull that. Really, I mean, they had the advantage with time. Time was on their side when that Kitsune rush came out, and they knew it. So they were just able to kite it, get away from it, not have to deal with it, because they know the advantage is on the side of SIUE if they are to fight into that Kitsune. So They just backed out, waited. We did lose Finn the Human in those last couple of seconds. To Tog, I believe, was on the or I'm sorry, whomever was on the Sojourn. I believe it was Tog. But it didn't really matter in the end. The Annihilation came out, blocked off the team. Nothing they could do about it. Nothing they could answer for it. And Lindenwood caps with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. That's a very big time bank for Kings Row.
And yeah, Lindenwood, if they end up going down to overtime, they're definitely going to feel the added weight of that cushion because it's just such a nice thing to have in the back pocket, even if they can't stop the SIUE from making that push all the way, which can be very frequently hard. Having 3 minutes 40 left to go is always going to be nice.
You know what we're seeing here? We're seeing that defensive dive that we were talking about. Sort of.
Okay.
Sort of. We're seeing the monkey come back out. We've got Zippy Bloom on Sombra. Love to see that. Want to see that. They come out super fast. Finn 1 HP. They take out 2 though. Zippy down pretty fast.
That is both supports for the side of SIUE, though. They have nothing to heal up. As Gore gonna get chunked down to moments of health left because of that fact. Simply no one to provide massive amounts of healing other than May to themselves. And their attack is gonna be completely stunted for the moment because of it.
Yep, we've got another dive in. Zippy Bloom takes down Tog. Not going to be a problem in this next fight. It kind of are up on this. The supports are kind of up on this left side. And meanwhile, Gore is kind of on the other side of the statue. They can't really help him too much. He's going to get chunked down, it appears. And that he does. Finn the Human's able to take him down. Ronan gets picked off, though, in the process. Zippy on his last leg as well.
Yeah, Lindenwood, they're just trying to play for time right now. They know that their biggest advantage from their defensive round is how long they were able, or how short rather, they were able to cover the entire track in. So every second that they're able to burn away here is time later that this team won't have to make it back in overtime. As now it's going to be diving forward, Zippy on the site backed up for the moment. Is Tog actually going to find the shot onto Ronan, going to find the shot onto Zippy. Now it's very dangerous 3v5 for the side of Lindenwood. They're trying to make something happen here. They have Monkey ult if they choose. It seems that they're going to be rational though. Let the players die, simply back away for now, as it will be Edwardsville finally taking their first point.
The Ruby couldn't do much about it. Ronan was 1 HP, gets taken out. Not a ton you can do about that. They're just going to back it up. They're going to use this this EMP likely in the next fight. Love to see a good big EMP from them. Meanwhile, we have, I guess the Ramatra switch was a bit ago because I didn't even notice it. But we have a Ramatra on the side, or unless they already had it. I don't know. But we have a Ramatra at 74% on the side of SIUE right now. And the window came out pretty quickly as well.
It feels like it didn't do anything. Yeah. So Sombra on the backline actually looking for something. EMP comes out. They're going to be committing deep in. Now it's going to be Zippy for one, running in for another. We're going to get one kill back, however, very, very low and doesn't have every material needed. Annihilation technically available if they want to make the play for this. But at the moment, going to be a bit of a slow play, as they do have the slow push at the exact moment, not forced to burn anything.
And they've been a little bit ambitious pushing forward, but they are back on the cart now. We've got the Kitsune Rush coming out from Ronan. They know they have that advantage if it's out, but they're not really able to fight in it. The team, or SIUE, just kind of backs up completely, and they're able to take out Euclorian in the process.
As yeah, there's going to be the overclock coming out from the side of Tog. Lindenwood, they're doing everything they can to get away in the exact moment. Enforcer going to find the kill onto Ronan. As Lindenwood, they're simply looking to stay alive at the exact moment. The firepower from Tog's ult enough to take down Ether, and none of the players can get too hasty with that threat on the board.
Yeah, it's a shame that Kitsune wasn't coming out, or didn't come out in an amazing spot. It's a shame they couldn't get a ton of value off of it. We've got both Zippy Bloom and Finn the Human kind of lurking in the back lines, kind of giving them a little bit of concern, I guess. Pyrocat's kind of just spamming around looking for them, not sure where they are. Able to take out Madison just like that.
As yeah, it's going to be the Annihilation coming out now from Gore. They're trying to play around Cassidy to find the kill onto Zippy. Pyro, another kill onto the Monkey. And now it is going to be Pyrocat absolutely popping out right now on the Brig. Ronan goes off the map, and it will once again be a fight win for the side of SIUE.
Now, I did see this one. The Ramatra is swapped in from the Monkey. Monkey not working out quite well for them, and we will see Ether and Ronan swap it up to match, as well as, you know, Finn and Zippy. The whole team switches it up. We're switching it back to kind of our attacking composition. Could be a good defense against what SIUE is now.
Yeah, it is just some more random fighting coming out. Not really a ton going on, as Ronan is going to get taken down quite low, as now the fight is going to commit deep. Amp Matrix comes out, Rally comes out. They're trying to find everything they can. It is going to be Zippy getting taken out. Railgun from Tog is going to be enough to do it. 3 minutes, 5 seconds to go on their timer. Lindenwood potentially just going to look to stall out as much time as possible. They do have more to work with by a small margin, as now it's going to be another committed push as the ults come out for everybody. Everybody tries to stay alive, but they are already infused with potential death, as Tog with the overclock and a hunt down 1-2. Gore, Enforcer, Zippy, last player, can't make anything happen. And finally, after about a minute or and a half straight of fighting, they're finally able to get their third point.
It's a lot. I think that their comp worked pretty well into the monkey comp, the defensive dive rather that Lindenwood was running. I think they stuck it a little bit long, and they weren't able to really grab their footing towards the end of that, and ultimately just kind of just filtered in, and you know the overclock came out, was able to take out two. Lindenwood just not able to, like I said, find their footing in that last point.
And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get on into the overtime, see what both of these teams are running, as it does once again look like we are going to go ahead and see both teams on the Ramatra, so definitely the favorable pick of King's Row. You think we'll see any fun offensive tricks this round?
Probably not. Probably just going to be pretty straightforward. Just go with it. We are seeing a Cassidy, however. Interesting. Typically run like a May, I would say, like Lindenwood is, but Cassidy's interesting. I love to see some Cassidy competitive over.
It is worth noting that that is on attack at the moment, as they will begin their push now with those two snipers, especially looking to find any headshot they can, finish up any kills that are possible. As now hiding behind the shield, Lindenwood going to pull up their own, as now it's going to be an early kill. Ronan going to find that kill onto Enforcer, early lead for Lindenwood, as now they're going to find the kill onto Madison. They're diving forward. So much consistency by Lindenwood as Finn kills Gore, and already down to only a minute and a half to attack.
Yeah, you know, quite a pick onto Enforcer. He kind of went around this statue, wasn't able to get out himself, and then a wall comes out, blocks off the healing from Gore, or from Madison to Gore. The lamp came out, but Lindenwood just had the damage by that point. They were able to hold on to it. Now, I don't have much of anything on the board in terms of ults yet, but we have quite an advantage for Euphorian in terms of charge for that Annihilation.
And yeah, they are going to get into a decent bit of a fight right now, as it is going to be a fight on to the A site, of course. If we're going to trade some frisbees with the other team, as this is a completely passive conversation at the moment. It doesn't really seem like Lindenwood would have a chance to get on point, as now they are going to force their way around and on, but it is going to be Gore getting that kill on Euchlorian quickly, as now the Matrix going to come out. Lindenwood doing everything they can to stop this attack, but Gore a double kill, Enforcer a kill, Finn goes down, Ether is going to get taken down, and now they have 26 seconds of regulation to push, and aside from that, it is going to be down to a permanent overtime.
Yeah, we've got those big DPS ults on the board for Lindenwood, and then Overclock also on the side of SIUE. At this point, Gore is a little bit ahead of Euchlorian. That was not how it started in the past, so we're gonna have to see kind of a big mail come out from Lindenwood if Finn the Human's not able to hit those shots with that Overclock.
And yeah, they're down now to 0 seconds, which means this blizzard here could potentially be the end of regulation for this portion. Finn gonna get the kill, or Euchlorian gonna get the kill. As now it's going to be everything against everything, overclock, annihilation, and it's Finn the human, double kill of the railgun. Rally comes out to try and save it, but it might be just too little, just too late. They're going to try and get to the point as Doomfist will indeed just barely make it. Gore trying to take up as much damage as possible, railgun shot onto Ether, but now it's going to be the death of Doomfist, and the round is over almost immediately as Lindenwood will look to pass.
Frog hits a great shot onto Ether, but not able to get that stall off. So unfortunately, doesn't really matter. But it was quite a good shot coming out from him. I love seeing. I don't know if I love seeing Sojourn. I love seeing Sojourn, but I know they're gonna pop off, or they're gonna at least hit their shots. It's definitely exciting.
As yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comps come out here. We've obviously seen a couple of variations of both attacking and defending comps, and it'll be interesting for sure to see what spin Lindenwood put on it, as it looks to be a somewhat default Sojourn May Ramatra team once again, as again, all they have to do is pass the distance set by Edwardsville.
It's true. It looks like Gore might come out with that Zarya. We've got the same comp coming out from Lindenwood. Zarya could be interesting. I know on Oasis they didn't start off with a Zarya. I believe they started off with the Orisa. So we didn't get to see a whole lot of Gore's Zarya, but we'll see it in this match, or in these 3 minutes at the very least, if he does.
As we are going to go ahead and get this round underway, as it will be a slight duel of these DPS if the Mei can find a way to get picks, or if it's just going to be up to the raw damage favored by Cassidy. As the wall goes up, it is going to be a bit of threat on Zarya, but nothing really of the life. As Zarya going to rotate around, trying to find a way for the ult to do more damage. Is going to be jumping out now with Euchlorian, trying to find a way into this ult. Wall goes down, not an ult. As now they're trying to find a way out. Lindenwood trying to back away for the moment, running through the gate. And they will indeed get out in time, except for Ramatra, who is going to get peeled by an ice wall and backed away to safety for the moment.
He didn't quite catch the memo. He was a little bit deep, and the rest of his team is trying to get away. So I think the ice wall was to try to stop him maybe a little bit. Kind of rolling out around this statue here. We got a window up and coming. I expect a window any second. And the rail goes right through it, taking out Pyrocat just like that.
And yeah, Ether gonna get taken down as well. The camp is definitely gonna be taken here. Lindenwood don't really have that great a say against it. But I do need to ask your professional opinion. As Lindenwood are gonna catch this, do you think Lindenwood will be able to make it past this first choke?
The ultimates are looking pretty difficult, but they do have 1:40, which means that's plenty of time to lose a fight and get ultimates out of SIUE and then build up their mailed and their overclock in the process. I think, I think they could definitely pull it off. There's only seconds left for SIUE to get it and to
SIUE touch?
get around this corner. I think they can touch. I think we should see a bubble here. Ooh, the wall
wall
comes
the
out.
Wall!
The wall!
What an absolutely
wall.
outrageous wall. Zarya tries to jump, tries to make it, and for the second map in a row, the final seconds are determined by SIUE not being able to physically touch the objective. The first game, a slight mistake. It was just an honest mistake, a misread. This time, there was no accident about it. Lindenwood, a beautiful play to stall for time, as they are going to get away with King's Row in just an inch. They could have, of course, won it without, again, air quote, cheesing away the point there. But regardless, didn't have to risk the fight. If you can win the map, as Lindenwood push ahead 2-0.
I love to see the wall. That's great. I didn't expect it, except, maybe I should have, but it was great. It was a great timed wall. I thought the Zarya could definitely make it through with bubbles and be able to touch, but I think now, after the endings to those last two fights, SIU they're gonna have some kind of designation for someone to touch the point. They're gonna be like, make sure you're there, make sure you can touch it, because they don't want to do that for a third time in a row.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna get into your head after 2 games. That's what I have to know. The game 1, unfortunate. Game 2, it's happened clearly intentionally now. That's always gonna be something grilling at the back of your head now.
Yep, they'll never stop thinking about it. Well, we're
As let's
headed
see.
into the third map, which is Shambali, if I remember.
It is indeed Shambali Monastery. I don't know anything about this map. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I hate it. I know its name. I know the country it's in. I know it's escort.
Well, tell us about the
There
country
you
it's
go.
in.
I tell you about the Nepal. There's a
Yeah,
big mountain in Nepal. The flag,
true.
it's like the weird triangle one. It's the triangle one. You know the triangle one. Tell us about the actual map though, as I believe you said it was one of your preferred escort maps. What type of things should we be looking forward to? As I assume we're not going to have the Circuit Royale 10 sniper duel.
I mean, there could be. It's
Oh,
not a
please no.
terrible sniper map, I don't think. But don't I don't expect that because so many comps could be played on it. I think we could see some more Ramatra come out of it, which, if I remember correctly, the lore is that Ramatra has something to do with Shambali. Um, but we could see some Ramatra come out of it. We could see some Sigma, maybe if it's anything like any other escort map. We could see some Sigma, or I guess Circuit Royale. Um, we could
I'd rather
see.
not see Circuit Royale anything associated to the map, really.
I agree. I think Shambali is going to be a good map to see. We're not going to see it for any of the season. I don't believe. I don't believe it's an option. So we're going to see it once tonight. I think it's the same with Hollywood. We're going to see it once tonight, and then probably never again until the next season or until a
Oh,
different
you
tournament.
think we're getting to game 6? You think we're gonna
Oh
make it
yeah,
that far?
yeah. We're gonna drop these two maps. Lindenwood's gonna lose. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what's gonna happen. Honestly, it would
I
be
thought you
nice to
had the
see it.
script. You don't have the script with you?
You know what? They gave it to me and it was an accident, so they took it
Okay,
away. Yeah,
okay,
I got
okay.
removed from the Discord channel. So, I don't have it anymore. But you know what? I don't think we're gonna see any more C9s from SIUE. I think they're gonna be on top of it. They might even switch to a character that can touch at the last second like Somber, Trace just to him. Or
I
even
could
I mean they had
definitely
a
see
Lucio.
that at this point.
Yeah.
Having the Zarya doing the Gmod death run, trying to jump through random instances of damage to get to the point, and then just hitting into a straight wall is
Right.
always unfortunate. Yeah. Always it's always even though it wasn't just an accident, it's always unfortunate for the team that doesn't get the fight. They should have been there. It's like just making a mistake. You have to know that the May exists. You have to be aware of that threat, but it doesn't make it any less feels bad, man. As I think we're gonna go
Right.
back to a break here for just a minute or two, and we will be back on the other side with game 3 on Shambali Monastery.
And we're starting off with that Sombra May. Interesting, but Lindenwood's pretty solid with that composition. And like I said, we have a Sigma on the other side as well. And we got the Sojourn, kind of scary, and the Hanzo, of course, also pretty scary. Lindenwood kind of rolling up on them on this right side, taking all of this space, but not touching the point. So,
Oh, Ice Wall.
ooh, Ice Wall onto the Sigma,
Gore's
hack
just dead.
onto the
Gore's
Sigma.
dead.
Gore
Gore's
is
just dead. Ice
down
Wall
and
comes
out.
out. Oh, the hack straight on. Gore can't tank it up as Ronan, as per usual. Lucio is on objective duty. Sat on the point, moving it at two-player tick now. A beautiful execution by Lindenwood, though, to find that pick on the tank, who has already changed over to Zarya.
Yep, huge wall to block off the healing. Huge wall to block him from moving. Shot comes out onto Finn the Human, though. Going to be a little bit of a momentum killer without that May. Going to be kind of tough.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Enforcer doing a very good job of killing his momentum. Double kill for the side of the SIUE DPS. As Zippy gonna have to back away to get some healing, but Sombra gonna be able to hack up the pads. Not gonna have any major issue as Lindenwood actually look to be going back to spawn. Are they changing up the entire comp? Just a couple pieces of it.
Yep, it looks like it. They're switching it up to that Ramatra. Don't know if they had the bat before. I don't believe they did, but it's a swap. It's certainly a swap. Going to be pretty good into this composition.
And yeah, Lindenwood actually just walking straight in, and they set the decision. They made the call and immediately executed. Nemesis form Euclorian, gonna walk it straight through the side of SIUE. That's 1, 2, and 3 for the side of the Ramatra. And with the other 2 at single-digit HP, it won't be long before this first checkpoint is in the hands of the Lions, as it does indeed fall now. Euclorian takes a death, but it simply does not matter, as point 1 in control by Lindenwood.
They know it's about going in fast and getting that Ramatra value or as early as possible, getting cooldowns out, going as fast as they can, and they're able to execute off of it, which is great. And they have both of their fight-winning, game-changing DPS ults coming out for these next couple of fights. And you know what? SIUE has them as well. Gonna come out, gonna split the team in half, so Lindenwood's not gonna do much just yet. But the overclock comes out from Enforcer, gonna kind of push him back a little bit once again.
Enforcer, though, didn't really feel like much came out of it. Hanzo Tog gonna be able to find Finn the Human coming out of the ice block, but now Lindenwood on the run, the Kitsune Rush, not gonna have a ton of progressive value here as Lindenwood look to back away for the moment. But as the side of SIUE, they threw 3 ults at that, and they were only really able to get away a kill or 2 and stall for maybe half a minute.
Yeah, they have this window next. They're gonna need to get something out of it. Maybe to keep some space for a couple of seconds, but doesn't look like just looks like they're getting pushed out here.
Oh, massive EMP.
EMP comes out. Zippy
4
almost
players.
dead.
Oh, Enforcer, though, is going to find that shot on Finn the Human. Euclorian feels forced to use the Annihilation. Is going to get down with Tog, but gets taken down. Gore going to find that kill as Lindenwood. They're in a bit of a tricky situation now with no tank facing into 4. Forced to try and back away. Now it is going to be the players on Lindenwood running away. Lucio going to have no issue making movement speed bonus go up as Lindenwood have once again been stopped here just before the second checkpoint.
Yeah, they've kind of been struggling to capitalize on these EMPs in these past few games. It comes out, it's pretty big, but they're just not able to get that footing they need into the EMP. But they're going to come in with a mail here, perhaps the window to kind of push him back here. The wall comes out onto Gore and the lamp as well.
Oh, massive grab comes out. It's going to get insta-canceled out by the Lucio ultimate, though. And now it's going to be a complete team fight here. It's now the Hanzo Wolt coming straight toward the point. It is going to get away with Ronan as Pyro gets retreaded out, but Tog going crazy, taking away both Lindenwood supports. Euclorian, though, going to be fighting on. Tog gets taken down here as now Lindenwood are facing in. Gore's the big threat. Enforcer kill onto Zippy. Euclorian 1v3 at the moment, has no healers. Nobody can get to him in time, just trying to back away. Nemesis form not quite ready. Taken down by Gore as 2.3 meters away from the second point. Lindenwood are stopped yet again.
And we saw the beat come out for the grab. It's going to be a pretty common combo there. We saw the window come out from Ether as well. Not a lot coming out of that either, but SIUE has this rail. They have this Kitsune. Those are 2 pretty fight-determining ultimates here. The Mail's going to have to be pretty big for Lindenwood. They're going to have to watch out for that Suzer. They're going to have to catch probably Gore without bubbles. They're gonna have to go into it quickly here. Ooh, and a
Yeah, they
huge hack comes out
Oh,
from
oh.
Zippy, stopping that Kitsune rush.
And yeah, the Blizzard comes out as well. It's gonna buy a bit of prio, but Lindenwood can't get the point yet. Zarya trying to tank up as much damage as possible as Tog gonna find that kill on Ether. Lindenwood, they're trying to stay with the fight, but Enforcer finds the kill onto Finn. Euclorian still decently healthy, but it is gonna get taken down the second the healers are gone. And Lindenwood, no supports, just cannot make the fight come out again.
Such a big cancel onto Madison's Kitsune rush, but Lindenwood not really able to capitalize on it. They do have some pretty big ultimates up and coming where SIUE only has this window. They only have this dragon. Looks like Zippy's kind of setting up for this incoming EMP. Gonna try to scout, get a good spot for it, and be ready so Lindenwood can capitalize on it.
And yeah, the Annihilation is out and ready. It is going to be the Ant Matrix now as Lindenwood force their way past it. Annihilation going to have to come out here. EMP comes out, and now Euclorian trying to find the good spot to use it. Does indeed finally get it. Big Shield comes out. Zippy gonna get the kill over onto Pyrocat and Euclorian 1, Euclorian 2, Finn 1 on the Soldier. And Lindenwood finally able to find this checkpoint, remove the Kiriko that is Madison, and now have a minute 34 to find this third checkpoint.
No, I can't say I'm mad at the Annihilation coming out. It was traded ultimates. We saw both the window and the ult from Hanzo, the Dragon Strike, come out at the same time. So it secured the point. So can't be too mad about that. We do have a grab incoming. Not much of an answer to it yet. Roman's gonna have to build up that beat as fast as he can, or the team's just gonna have to split up and try to stay alive.
And yeah, Zippy actually gonna put a hack on, but Insta gets taken down. I'm not sure how much damage was put on through that one Zarya click, but Zippy tries to hack the front line. Zarya almost immediately put down. Finn playing for poke on the back line gets taken quite low, but Lindenwood, they've farmed up some ults. Both support ults are ready. They have the Matrix, 78% on the TAC Visor, as they're going to re-peek out 40 seconds. They want to find a fight win. They want to find a good way to push right now, as now it's going to be the Ant Matrix coming out. Now it's going to be the grab coming out. Lucio ult comes out to counter it. Now Lindenwood, they are going to find that kill on Gore, and now it's facing on to the back line. Damage is the biggest priority. 95% to that TAC Visor. It's available for the next fight, but Linda would potentially have a pick, but it's actually going to be targeting a kill, traded back away by the Sombra DOT. 20 seconds to go. Lindenwood, they're trying to push forward. You have to get on the point here if you're SIUE. It is going to be Zarya jumping down. Kitsune Rush comes out, but now TAC Visor comes out. Euclorian finds the kill onto Enforcer, and now it's TAC Visor spraying away. Finn the Human says goodbye to Madison. Finn the Human is going to get taken down by the Hanzo, though. It's still 3 meters to go. Overtime begins. Lindenwood are down to the final fight of the round. 90% on Somber EMP, 90% on Annihilation. Euclorian doing everything he can to get that ult ticking up. 95%, 97%, and trying to get it 99, and is going to get the Annihilation out, but can he make it happen? Cannot indeed. 3.73 meters from the end is Lindenwood's end of the play, and SIUE will have several minutes to make that same distance or risk falling match point.
You know what? At least SIUE was able to touch at the end. I'm so proud of them for that. But what really came out of that was, Lindenwood was able to push it so far just from Gore using the using the grab a little bit far forward. I guess he didn't expect the beat to come out. He maybe wanted the pick, and he was actually cut off and not able to get healed because of it. But they ultimately weren't able to push it far enough because the spawns were just right there. It's just really difficult to hold on to it if you're Lindenwood. The TAC Visor came out. If Finn the Human was able to stay alive through Tog, maybe they could have pushed it in, but not quite able to get into that final checkpoint. We are going to see Finn the Human switch it up to the Sojourn here from the Soldier.
And yeah, one thing that's definitely worth noting right now is that it looks like SIUE are actually going to be keeping a pretty similar comp going into this attack. They're keeping with the Hanzo, which is definitely one thing I wasn't ready for, as I'm going to have to see if Tog can pull the same amount of value on the other side of the map. If they can, SIUE had potentially a decent chance at making it through this map with a victory, but Lindenwood going to look to do everything they can to stop it as the second round is now underway.
Gonna have to be careful of those random logs or those totally intentional logs coming out. Gonna have to watch out for the Hanzo and watch out for the rail shots. The rail shots are killing it this game. Gonna have to Defend the Human taking that off angle there. Um, Hog half HP, just kind of poking right now. Not a ton going on just yet.
And yeah, keep in mind, Lindenwood, they haven't lost this high ground yet. They try to come out with the wall on Gore, but they aren't going to find that kill immediately. But it is a pretty deep dive, trying to find something. Gore gets taken quite low for a moment, but won't die. Pyrocat, though, is going to find that kill onto Ronan, as Lucio for Lindenwood is eliminated from the fight. And now with the advantage, it is going to be a deep push from SIUE. Lindenwood forced to take a back route, going to get out here, back towards safety. But Lindenwood are forced away here in the first full fight.
Yeah, they're going to back up just a little bit, get that regroup off with Ronan, and go back in. They have plenty of space to kind of give away here and an attempt to get everybody back together. And that's what happens here. Gore at a very high charge. They're going to have to watch out for him here.
And yeah, Euchlorian just hiding behind the point, trying to find anything that he can poke onto. As Enforcer actually stuck kind of on the point, gonna have a bit of trouble getting out, but will be able to slide away. Always being able to power slide is a massive advantage, as now Amp Matrix gonna come out, but it is actually gonna be Tog shooting through it, taking down Ether, but taken down by a railgun shot from Finn. And now it is once again Lindenwood 4v4. They're trying to make a play happen. They want to kill this tank so badly, but Enforcer going to find the kill on Daron and Euchlorian, though, 1 and 2. Goodbye, Kiriko. Goodbye, Zarya. As Euchlorian, the Nemesis form, going to find out a play there. Is now Pyrocat tries to jump off. Can't quite make it, as Lindenwood are able to hold the push here.
Gonna have to back up a little bit, wait for Ronan to come back. He is back. It's now 5v5 yet again, or will be very soon. Lots of ultimates on the board for both sides. We're seeing both DPS ults for Lindenwood at 80% for Enforcer, but that Kitsune Rush, he's not gonna let it get canceled this time. It's gonna come out here soon. Now I expect maybe the mail to come out shortly after.
And yeah, it is going to come down to a pretty large-scale fight here. We have to see what ults Lindenwood are willing to use here. It is going to be the grab coming out. They don't have the Lucio ult till right now, which is going to come out immediately. Tanks up quite a large amount of damage, but Finn the Human gets 1. Finn the Human gets 2. Euchlorian gets 3. And now it's a 5 versus 2. Ronan gets a kill, and now it's a 5 versus 1. Gore, nothing to do. Taken down. Team kill for Lindenwood as they preserve 2 ultimates for the remaining minute.
That's going to be a lot to come out from SIUE. That Grav Dragon comes out, gonna switch it up to a May here. Grav Dragon doesn't even catch any. It catches the Grav catches the team, but the beat drop cancels it out. So it doesn't really matter in the end, other than getting the beat drop out. The mail comes out from Zippy as well, but we should see an overclock, maybe an annihilation come in from Lindenwood in this next one. Kitsune in a couple seconds as well.
And yeah, they are going to throw out some ults now. It is going to be the double overclock from both sides of the Sojourn. Kitsune Rush comes out from the side of SIUE's, and Force are going to find the kill on Finn. Annihilation now going to be trying to walk through. Euchlorian wants to tank everything up, bring out massive carnage, is trying to push forward, but gets taken so ridiculously low, trying to back away, blocking as best as possible. Gets back to the healing as the Amp Matrix comes out, has to back up a few steps to get into value of it. But Lindenwood, 20 seconds left. They want to see if they can stop SIUE out here, if not waste as much time as conceivably possible while farming ults. As now the fight comes out, Ice Wall comes up, Euchlorian steps back off of it. They are going to recontest the point though, as now it is Sojourn trying to find shots on towards the back line, as now it's actually going to be Euchlorian finding a kill onto the side of Pyrocat. 5 versus 4 in favor of Lindenwood. They could close this map out right here with a fight win here. Zippy gets a kill, now Euchlorian another kill, and Lindenwood in complete control. Goodbye Madison. May, the last player alive. Tog cannot do it, and Lindenwood have pushed themselves 3-0 in favor as they will move to match point on the 4th map of the day in a dominant win here on Escort.
Wild to see the how dry that last fight was going to be. They needed to get something out of it, and Euchlorian able to push onto Pyrocat, taking him out. Inhuman, as always, popping off with this Sojourn, getting everything he can in the play of the game. We saw a lot of great things from both sides. I mean, both sides did a pretty good job at what.
And yeah, that's definitely one of the fights that is very hard to take from both sides. You can't use an ultimate too early. You can't use a key ability. And as you mentioned, being able for Euclorian to find that play to get into the back line, get that kill onto the support as Linden would take the win on Shambali Monastery, push themselves ahead 3-0 in this best of 7 show match. Match point, they will look to win any of the next 4 matches with Esperanza as our next match. Where do you think this map is going to end up heading?
I haven't seen Esperanza in so long, so I'm not totally sure what we're gonna see. Maybe some JQ, maybe more Ramattra. We should see some more Ramattra. We've been seeing a ton of it. Both teams can pull it fairly nicely. Lindenwood does have a pretty good record when it comes to push. And we've seen them being pushed back and being almost completely down and out from push and then coming back out. I still remember that game on New Queen Street last season. I will never forget it. They could do it again. They could get pushed really deep into their own spawn and then come out with it, as they've done in the past. So push should be very exciting as a fourth map.
And yeah, for sure. It's going to be very interesting once we get into it. Going to see potentially some varying comps, some varying styles, some potentially varying results as we will head to another and potentially our last break. And we will see you afterwards with game 4.
Okay. What if And we're taking a live look in at Fusion 314 right now. What do we think? Looks
I,
pretty good.
At the end of the day, you're always looking at a new facility, and any time that you have a good budget and you're building something in the modern day, it's always going to look nice. And I think that's definitely from the small amounts that I've seen with the shots we've seen, especially from a couple of the shots with the background when we were interviewing the people, and from the video interview that we watched earlier. It definitely looks like a rather pleasant building. Of course, I haven't been there, so I can't give like my official IRL rating seal of approval, but it
Right.
definitely looks like a pleasant place to be.
Absolutely. I've seen the worst of esports arenas, and I've seen some pretty good esports arenas, so I can say that one looks pretty good. That's not as bad as what I had to play in several years ago. So good for them. We've got one of our former sort of producers and a former players in chat right now, Teddy Tevis. Thank you so much for joining our stream today. His name is Graham. Thank you, Graham. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we are going ahead and loading into our fourth map of the day, Esperanza. Going to be very interesting to see what characters we have, as it looks like we might be getting a bit of a dive comp versus a Junker Queen comp. Always going to be fun to see this side that SIUE are running with the Tracer, the Sombra, the Brig, and the Doomfist, potentially just looking to play some absolute backline chaos into a pure chaos comp of Sojourn, Symmetra, with a bit of movement amongst both the supports and a JQ to wrap it all together.
I'm guessing SIUE wants to dive it out, wants to look for those quick picks. Gore did say to look out for that his Doomfist in our interview earlier in the stream, so
I
we
believe
are
Togg's
looking out
Genji
for it
was on
right
that list as
now.
well. It was Togg's Genji and his Doomfist. Weren't those the big two?
Yeah, I remember hearing Genji. Yes.
As though Doomfist actually going to be jumping straight onto the backline with the Sombra. They're trying to find a pick, but it is actually Enforcer almost getting picked out. Barely able to make it away for this moment in time as Gore goes absolutely flying, but gets picked out of the air. Immediate death for the tank of SIUE, and now it's death for the rest of the team. Zippy going to get the kill onto Madison. Tog, though, going to find that kill back onto Ether as before finally getting taken down, as Zippy going absolute crazy this game already. Multiple kills under that Sombra's belt in just under a minute of game time.
Yeah, already 40% to that EMP. It's going to be pretty big. Gore, I think, maybe going to have a little bit of trouble running into the Kiriko, running into the Sombra with the Doomfist, but he's going to do his best, and then that's what matters. He takes out Finn the Human as I say that, so they could switch it up right here, right now.
Yeah, they are definitely going to get a bit of progress here on the robot, but Gore, as you mentioned, just able to get in, find a player to isolate, find a good player to target, make the punch happen, shoot some bullets in, and that was enough to take it down Finn. Not the tankiest character of all time, as Gore actually going to find another kill out onto Zippy. Potentially could be seeing something crazy on the Doomfist, as Gore going back onto the backline, as JQ actually making the same play against SIUE, trying to find onto this backline, but is going to get taken down here. Ronan dead, Ether dead, and Lindenwood are getting picked apart by this Doomfist.
Yep, they're cleaning up Tog there as well. Do not count him out. We're seeing Blade online, almost the nano. Don't know if we're gonna wait for it here. Maybe not. Maybe they'll just Blade right out the gate. Not a lot of ultimates going on for Lindenwood just yet. We are seeing a switch to Soldier from Finn the Human. Gonna have an EMP soon, but as we've said, we haven't seen a ton of value come from the EMPs this season so far. So we're hoping to see a good one come out from this next fight. Lindenwood, who rolls out, gets naded very quickly here.
And yeah, Finn actually going to find that very, very quick kill onto Pyrocat. It's already a 5v4 with a missing support for the side of Southern Illinois. And now it is going to be Euchlorian getting that kill on to Madison. And they are going to start falling apart. Finn gets the kill onto Gore and SIUE. They just aren't able to keep up with the tempo they are faced with. And even though they have 3, close to 4, maybe even close to 5, depending on what you consider ults, not able to win that fight back out.
They do end up getting all good spawns, though, which is going to be huge for them. Going to get into the fight much quicker here. Going to have this Nano Blade online. Only a couple, there's a couple answers to it, I would say. They're going to have to react so quickly, though, on the side of Lindenwood to this Nano Blade. Expecting it to come out fairly soon, and here it is.
Yeah, the blade comes out. It is going to be Tog dashing through the lines. It's going to start out with Finn, then going to move on to Ronan. Gets both kills with success, then Tog going to get that kill onto Euchlorian. Triple kill for the Genji, as now it's going to be Zippy trying to run away. Ether, though, not going to get that, not going to get out either, as the Sombra went pretty far away. Going to be quite hard to track Zippy down in that situation. But regardless of his escape, it is still SIUE who come out with the fight win.
Yep, they used 3 ultimates in that fight. Might not be great for them in the future. Lindenwood didn't have the chance to even use anything. So the Kitsune is going to come out pretty quick here. EMP comes out though from Enforcer, going to be pretty big. Takes down 2 already.
Yeah, it's
Oof.
actually just looking like this fight is in
Candace.
complete control of SIUE. The engage came out from Lindenwood. They came with triple ults, but it just was not enough. The Sombra ult didn't quite do enough. They weren't able to make a full capitalization during the stun, as now it's going to be a very, very strong push for SIUE.
Yeah, the stun from Pyrocat shut down at least the JQ ultimate there. He wasn't able to get anything out of that, so he switches to the Orisa. Euphorian pretty decent on the Orisa, but Finn down so quick to Gore.
Yeah, Euchlorian gonna get that trade back on to Gore. There's no tank at the moment for SIUE. Lindenwood should be able to take this fight quite easily. Just have to isolate these targets, make a decision, get the kill, as they are gonna close out Madison. They're gonna close out Tog, and the only player that gets away is once again the Sombra. Just a bit too much escape, too quick on the invis to get picked out.
Yeah, we've got ultimates for Lindenwood. We've got this visor coming out from Finn the Human soon, and then the beat drop, of course. There's a lot up and coming for SIUE, but nothing quite on the board just yet. They are meeting pretty soon here. Finn hacked. Finn getting low here.
Yeah, it is actually going to be a fight pretty decently in favor of Lindenwood. Finn, Zippy, both going to get a kill back. Wasn't really ready for them to start closing out several of the SIUE players, but indeed they just took a bit too, I mean, quite literally took more damage than they had health. They just were not getting the healing at the exact moment. They just get nuked away as Lindenwood finally, for the first time, make it to their checkpoint.
They have almost 5 ultimates on the board. They're going to have to be super careful with this. Playing it tactfully will get them a long way here.
Blade comes out, EMP comes out, Lucio trying to peel away as much of this damage as possible. So now it's going to be Euchlorian trying to peel as much damage out. EMP comes out, Lindenwood trying to make everything happen. Euchlorian going to get that kill. As now they have to be careful of the Doomfist. Don't going to go on to Ether, gets that kill, but Gore in complete danger. It's taken down, and Lindenwood are once again in control of the robot with only the supports alive.
Supports get picked out by Gore. Gore's gonna switch it up to the monkey now. Gonna be a switch off of the Doomfist. He did not tell us to watch out for his monkey, so we'll have to see if it's at the same caliber as his Doomfist. Meanwhile, we've got almost Pyrocat's ult on the board, and that's just about it for SIUE and Finn the Human's ult as well. Both Sombras off of the board.
Yeah, no EMPs yet, as now we are going to hear the rally going off for Pyrocat. They're going to try and be making a play as they will indeed find out the kill on to Ronin. As now it's going to be the Orisa trying to run away. Euchlorian does not want to die here, trying to make it around this corner to get back to the Baptiste. Will indeed make it there in time, but in the death, Finn will get taken down. Now the dive onto Ether. Ether looks quite dead as well. The Orisa takes quite a lot of casualty to get out, and still not even guaranteed with the Winston jumps on. Gore trying to chase it down. Euchlorian doing everything possible to live, and it looks like Euchlorian will be out just in time to live.
Yeah, we've been seeing this this soldier ult. This visor has been on the board for quite some time. I'm looking to see it come up pretty soon, perhaps against, well, they have no ultimates right now for SIUE, so they're gonna have to just fight it dry, back up, do what they need to do, kite, everything they need to do. We got a big jump in from Gore, however.
Oh, it's actually going to be Finn coming out with Attack Visor, trying to find some absolute large numbers of damage. 1 kill, 2 kill. Euchlorian gets 1 as well. 3 players dead right now. It's a 5v2 is now spraying in. They're trying to find the Genji. They will be able to kill Tog, and they will be able to kill Madison. They got the kills, but the robot has to go on an absolute monster of a run before they can even re-even the spawns, in addition to pushing an extra 13 and a third meter to take control.
Yep, we've got all the close spawns for SIUE and a Nanoblade incoming, 5% away. Gonna be pretty difficult to answer that with no beat, with no they're gonna have the lamp, but the lamp's not gonna do too much there.
And now here it comes. Have to be careful. Lindenwood going to try and live as best they can. Baptiste going to do everything they can to stay alive, but Euchlorian is going to get 1 kill onto Madison. Terra Surge comes out. It's actually going to get a decent bit of damage. Enforcer gets taken out, but Gore going to find the kill onto Zippy and Lindenwood. They are hit with a team kill. 1.5 minutes to go. Only a couple of pity kills there. Not able to close the fight out at all. And Lindenwood just cannot make the fight happen with no defensive ults.
We see quite an ambitious Terra Surge come out from Euclorian. He thought he could do it. He almost did it. He got 2, but not going to be enough. We see Finn the Human make a switch to the Reaper for this next fight, going in on Sombra Reaper into the Monkey. And he dies just like that.
Yeah, Lindenwood, they have a chance to win this game still. They have 3 ults up, and then by the time they've burned through those, potentially Euclorian and Finn will be back on theirs. At the moment, they're mainly looking into Primal Rage, EMP, and the Rally. They're going to get the robot over to the pushing pedestal, 13 meters to go.
Yeah, Enforcer has to live here. He has to get this EMP off first. They have to get the value before Lindenwood could even get their ults off. Have to see if that's going to happen. Yep, both of
The
them come
double
out at the
EMP
same
comes out, but
time.
Euphorian going to get that kill onto Gore, but now the trades are going to go out in favor of SIUE. Tog going to go ahead and get a double kill, and now it's Pyrocat getting the kill onto Finn. 17 seconds left, just Euclorian alive. They die with both supports ult available, and that will be the end of the map. They get off the robot to not make it easier to contest, and it will take a miracle for the Lindenwood players to touch in time, but it might actually be the
They
hero
have
of
the
the
touch
hour.
here.
Ronan gonna get the touch. Can he get the ult off in time? He can't ult for the shield. Ajaxed midair, and the overtime is gonna get touched once again, and now it's gonna be Doomfist jumping in, gonna get slept as now Amp Matrix comes out, trying to do whatever they can to contest, but they've just staggered in deaths. There's nothing they can do except staggering in deaths, but regardless, it's never going to lead to the end of the game as a 3-1 series score as SIUE take their first map.
We saw Gore. We saw him on the Doomfist. He did a pretty good job. He was right. I mean, we saw what he can do. Euclorian with the play of the game, however. Also, we know Euclorian can play Orisa fairly well, and we're seeing that here. We're seeing the tracking. But that Doomfist really came out. Now, he did end up having to swap. He swapped to the Monkey. But all in all, did a great job. A great job coming from Gore.
And yeah, definitely a very interesting map to go back and review all of the various team comp changes, as there were quite a decent amount of numbers. But for the moment, looking forward into the future, moving on to Flashpoint Saravasa, what can we expect?
We can expect a really long game. That's what we can expect. It's probably
Amen.
only like 10 to 15 minutes, but it feels like so much longer, I swear. But we are headed into what is it called? Saravasa. You just said it. Hello. And it's not a 4-0. I love to see that too. I think it's more exciting whenever it's not a full clean sweep. We'll have to see if SIUE can pull out that reverse sweep.
As yeah, we will head to, once again, another short break. And on the other side, we will see you with map 5 on Flashpoint with Saravasa.
inspiring, life-changing composition coming out from Lindenwood University. I'd love to see the ball and the Life Weaver. We haven't seen the Life Weaver in ages. We switched it up. My heart is shattered.
Oh, they were also just Symmetra TPing. Oh.
Yeah, we've got the same old comp from the last few games coming out from Lindenwood, or not from last game, from a few games coming from Lindenwood.
And yeah, it's already going to be Sombra on the back line, trying to make a play on Finn, but not going to do anything meaningful. As now Euclorian just trying to push forward, going to throw up the Ramattra barrier, just pushing forward. The team Doomfist punches toward the Mei, trying to put some damage down, as now Lindenwood fighting pretty intently on the site. Now it's going to be a bit more stuns, everybody taking up a ton of damage, but Gore pretty low, not quite going to get nuked out, has plenty of healing. Madison takes a lot, but it is actually going to be Finn the Human getting one tap, basically. Doomfist so much damage coming out, but Ether going to find that kill onto Madison, the support missing for the side of Southern Illinois, as now fighting forward. Nobody dead yet. Ether finally going to take another death as Gore, or going to take a death as Gore is going to go down as well. No tank for the side of SIUE is going to be potentially dreadful for the remainder of their fight, as now the fight will almost end. Tog is the last player alive, and it will get taken down by Sojourn, and Lindenwood are already, in just the span of the opening fight, at 50% ult power.
They were so fortunate to get that cap off with everybody there, and they were able to get 50% while fighting. That's going to be pretty big for them, and they're already going to be in last fight territory by the time the team gets back. If they can win the fight, they'll have this point. They're already kind of getting flipped on and completely pushed back, not going to be able to get a touch there. We have a window from Ether that's going to come out right away, right now. Gore getting all that charge up in their backline, not going to die.
Oh,
Dead.
Gore
I
picked
stand
away
corrected.
by Finn. Oh, but Tog has the blade coming out, going to pick away both of the Sojourn and the Baptiste, and now it's going to be a triple kill for the side of Tog. Have to be very careful. It's now Tog a Quadra, going to be looking to finish it out and can't get it because Pyrocat is going to be the one to take the kill in the feed. But regardless, a team kill for SIUE as they are closing near the 50% mark themselves.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a last fight here once Lindenwood gets it all together. Lots of ults coming out from both sides really. The Annihilation gonna come out. We see almost both DPS ults online for Lindenwood. The blade came out really fast in that first fight. We had a
5-man
huge
EMP comes out.
EMP.
It is going to be the Lucio ult. Now they're going to fight back in. Both Lucio ults are out. Euclorian has the option to bring the Annihilation if he chooses. Madison going to get the kill onto Ether. Is Euclorian going to find one kill now? It's going to be Zippy getting the kill on Gore. Annihilation likely not needed, but they might choose to still use it as now the Kitsune comes out. Will make the safe play. Decides to use the Annihilation. Ults are made to get points, and Euclorian expects to do just that. Annihilation goes out, secures the point as Tog going to try and find a way to touch, but ends up just feeding after the fact. 86% Lindenwood, as now they're going to look to try and find a way to hold this point out. Zippy does have walls, 96, 97, as now it is going to be touched by the Sombra fighting on. Meteor Strike comes out from the Doomfist, going to try and find a target onto the Baptiste, but ends up getting knocked away by the Frisbee as can't quite find a kill on it, and overtime almost goes away, almost another C9. As now the fight continues on site. Euclorian going to get the kill onto Enforcer and just continuing to throw DPS everywhere. Tog going to get the kill before getting traded out in the form of himself and the Kiriko. And now it's a fight. Massive player advantage for Lindenwood. Ether gets a kill onto Gore, and Lindenwood will finally secure point number 1 and another step toward a potential end of the series.
Ether secures 3 there. That was quite big from Ether there. We have no ultimates on the board other than this blade coming up for SIUE. We got the overclock for Finn the Human, expecting to see some massive plays coming from that. We're meeting on this point just before it unlocks. Waiting for SIUE to come in.
Point unlocking in just a couple of seconds. Lindenwood trying to bring the fight on quick. They would have this point taking quick. Finn gonna get the quick kill onto Pyrocat. That is the healer gone already. Finn the Human gonna get another kill now. Sombra is missing. That is a 5v3 in favor of Lindenwood due to Finn's clicking, and it will be Lindenwood's point as SIUE forced to back away in the disadvantaged position.
Yep, nothing really came out from that, so no ultimates that is. So we're gonna see a ton from Lindenwood in this next fight. Going to see a few from SIUE as well. They're not too far behind. The blade still has yet to come out. When it does, it might get countered by this beat drop if he can't kill him beforehand. Going to see what happens there.
And now it is going to be a touch onto the point, but Finn is actually going to find the kill onto the Enforcer. It's going to be a 5v4 in favor of Lindenwood at the moment, as Ronan playing a bit of ring around the rosy on the point, doing his best not to be spotted out by the opposition. 60% for Lindenwood. Flashpoint progress ticks so quick. Haven't even had it for a full-on fight yet, and Lindenwood already at 3/4 completion.
The last fight, and there's 5 ults on the board for Lindenwood, almost 5 ults on the board for SIUE. Gotta play it careful here, gotta pick and choose what you're gonna use so you have something ready for the next one.
And Nanoblade comes out. It is going to be a massive spam of ults. It is going to be both the Lucio and the Baptiste ult trying to find any amount of value, but it is going to be Tog getting the kill onto Ronan, as now it's just massive amounts of damage. Tog going to find the kill onto Ether. Annihilation is available. Overclock is available if they choose to use them, but it is worth noting they have an entire objective to wait. Lindenwood, they give up on this fight. They've already burnt in the 2 support ults. Not worth committing more just to lose the fight, as it will finally change possessions over to SIUE, who are already at a 3rd%.
Yeah, we're at even ults. We got 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Both support ults come out from Lindenwood. Not the beat does end up saving them for just a little bit of time. Window not getting a super ton of value, but we're meeting again right here. Could expect an EMP to come out from Enforcer at any moment. He's waiting for it. He knows where he is. And it comes out right onto Finn the Human.
And the Human immediately picked away. They knew who they wanted to target. The EMP is used to secure it. As Tog going to get a kill, Gore going to get a kill. It is going to be a Blizzard coming out. They might have a chance to find some picks, but the Meteor Strike is going to keep Gore alive for quite a long time. Gore kills Zippy, Tog kills Euchlorian, and it's going to be a bit too hard to get back to this point. Looking to tie things up at 1-1. Now it's official, a tied game here going into the 3rd flashpoint.
Oh, that's 2 very big ults coming out from Lindenwood, getting almost no value for them. They weren't able to get anything out of the overclock. He dies almost immediately, and the Mail doesn't quite catch anything at all. They have this Annihilation. It's going to be their last call to try to get this point first, if they even try to do so. They still have 20 seconds to even get up there, maybe get a pick off. The wall comes out, not quite catching Gore. He gets on top of it. Lindenwood kind of just going back around to the other side, trying to juke him a little bit.
Yeah, Lindenwood, they're trying to find some type of pick, but the Doomfist is just going to punch back for the moment, trying to keep everything stabilized, looking to get the point, but it is going to be Ramatra on the point now. It's going to be a Blade coming out. Nanoblade once again trying to find plays onto the back line. Tog going to fake a play, as now Annihilation comes out. Tog kills Ether out on the back line. Now Tog kills another in the form of Zippy. Annihilation, they're running through the back line. Madison's on is taken down, as now it is Euchlorian trying to keep this Annihilation ticking as long as possible. Goodbye to the Sombra. Enforcer is gone. Annihilation still live, finally taken down by Gore. Finn the Human, though, going to get the kill onto Pyrocat, trying to play big as the Tracer, but can't make it happen, and it will go over to SIUE.
Quite a stall, quite an Annihilation. The Annihilation came out. It was he was alive by himself for a little bit of time there, and he was able to get a little bit of value out of it, but he was using his ult, so that means he won't have it in this next fight, and Gore is gonna have that his own tank ult himself. Not going to be to the same effect as the Ramatra. We are seeing a Pulse Bomb maybe coming out from Finn the Human very soon. It catches Madison.
Found it onto the Ana.
That's going to be pretty big there for them.
Meteor Strike comes out. It is going to immediately find the likes of Zippy. Is Gore going to find that kill onto Ether? Now it's going to be the Sound Barrier coming out from the Lucio, trying to make everything happen, but Finn doesn't get tagged by it. EMP comes out. It is going to be the hack onto the remaining players of Lindenwood. Ronan is gone. Euchlorian and Finn trying to play for the rest of the point. Gore going to get the kill onto Finn. Euchlorian gets picked away. 75% to 0. It is looking very, very likely for SIUE to take a 2-1 lead here.
Yeah, that was quite a EMP coming out from Enforcer. It was just on Ronan, if I remember correctly. They were able to get him off the wall and take him out just like that, but quite an EMP, so they won't have that. But Lindenwood not looking too hefty on ults in this next fight. Neither side really has much of anything here. Support ults almost coming out from Madison and Pyrocat for SIUE.
And yeah, Gore actually gets taken quite low here. Moving over toward the next point, will get healed up. Nothing incredibly lethal, no immediate threats now. As again, Gore's taking up so much damage. Madison and Force are both taken quite low as well. Now moving over toward the right, have to be careful of getting knocked off this wall. These Lucios are tricky players. as 4 seconds until the point unlocks. Any kill could break the balance here in this moment. As now Doomfist diving in. They're trying to make a play on Euchlorian, but it will not find the way it's looking, as Tog has ult available. Nanoblade is available if they choose to commit it now, as it is going to come out. Nanoblade comes out. TC or Tog going to go for 1. Tog going to go for 2. Diving back toward the site. Tog trying to go for 3. Going to basically get it out in the form of just the kills. And Zippy goes down. A team kill for SIUE. Lindenwood got the first point and have had no control since.
Yeah, Linwood swapped it up to the Orisa. They're going to try to keep a pin on Gore, but Gore is, while doing his job, they're not keeping a pin on the Nanoblade. They have almost nothing for it. They just have to tank it and then lose 30% of the point just because of that Nanoblade. Oh, Gore gets taken out just like that with the Sombra hack. Can't get out. A stick onto Madison as well. It's going to be a take back for the side of Lindenwood with almost nothing used. Just the sticky, just the pulse bomb coming out from Finn the human. Not a lot on the side of. We have the EMP. We have the ult come out from Gore. Next. We have Lindenwood has quite a few ultimates online. We almost have 4. Gonna see them touch here. Gonna see maybe the Terra come out pretty fast. The window comes out. A huge nade comes out onto both.
Madison just fell off the
falls
map. That's catastrophic for the side of SIUE, as now they're gonna have to, SIEU gonna try and have to play it very weird now, have to try and back away. They lost a healer to the void, as now Pyrocat gonna have to run away from Zippy, as Lindenwood are looking to progress deeper. They have 3 ults to go. Pulse bomb is coming soon. Lindenwood are looking to get this 4th point, but there will be another fight before they secure it.
Yeah, I could see the Doomfist touching pretty soon here. Lindenwood has a lot of answers to that. They have the EMP, the Terra. They can do a lot. They are able to get that touch off. EMP comes
massive
out
EMP
from
comes out.
Enforcer.
Lucio, and now Terra Surge has a couple players trapped in it. It isn't going to get a kill, but it will lead to the death of the, at least Ana, and now it's a 5v3 in favor of Lindenwood. They're trying to hold everybody off point. We're only going to get the kill on Enforcer. Doomfist is dashing around. He's jumping, he's punching, and he's trying to do everything he can, but he will not be able to take down the wall that is Lindenwood, and it is now a 2-2 game here on Saravasa. It will go to game 6 if this goes in favor of Southern Illinois, and if Lindenwood are able to get it, they will close the series out in 4-1 fashion.
That they will. We have 2 DPS ults on the board for Lindenwood. Almost a Nanoblade, though, and not a beat to counter it. So they're going to have to watch out for that, try to stay far away from each other, try to only limit him to 1 pick with that Nanoblade. Or maybe he can get the Javelin off on him. Not a lot of answer, as I said. Let's see it fairly
now,
soon.
massive EMP. It's going to get a couple of players stunned. They try and commit to Tog, but it is now going to be the Tog Nanoblade coming out. And while it is unfortunate that Linden would have been completely wiped, the merit is that with just the EMP, they were able to burn the Nanoblade, the biggest combo that the side of SIUE have available to them.
Yeah, Lindenwood really needs an answer to that now that the SIUE has captured first. They can just finish it off by building up that Nanoblade. They're going to need the beat. They're going to need something to counter it at the end of the round. They're going to have to think about that once the beat is built. Meanwhile, they have a pulse. They have this window, and there's a beat drop on the other side for SIUE. The window is probably going to come out pretty early here in just a couple seconds. The beat is pretty early from Pyrocat.
Yeah, it didn't really block a ton. It would have in theory saved somebody from the blast or the pulse bomb, but the pulse bomb ended up going wide. Euchlorian gonna find that kill onto Madison, but it's traded back with Ether and Ronan. Now Euchlorian, no supports, will get taken down. Finn and Zippy both so low. They have no healers. They have to back away. 80% Linden.
Going to a short pause here. Not sure. Saw it in the chat. Not sure what's happening just yet.
As we'll have to see what ends up happening there after that. But as for the current moment, if you're just looking at the exact game state at this pause, 81% to 0%. Your tank is dead. Your supports have just respawned. For Lindenwood, this feels incredibly difficult to get back into. You have to get there quick and you have to win the fight without the Genji and the Ana getting that much ult percent.
Yeah, at 81%, they have to get there fast, like you said, and they only have so much they can really do. I mean, they have 3 options to get at least overtime triggered without dying. But they're really gonna struggle. I mean, they have this EMP incoming. Gore has his ult as well, and we've seen it work out for him quite a few times in this game. Um, they're really gonna have to have an answer to getting the touch. Really, that's what's gonna have to happen for them. They're not quite grouped up enough to even get it until it's at like 95. So it's gonna be quite a struggle in overtime.
Yeah, I guess the side merit to that is since you are running characters like the Tracer and the Sombra, you can maybe send a rogue player to a back corner just to get the touch and then back away, and then when the overtime's about to tick out, retouch, but at the same time might get a bit risky with letting the Doomfist pick either out on the solo player, dive onto the full team, or whatever shenanigans the counterplay ends up being. As for Lindenwood, there's just so many things that they have to do correctly to get back into and win this game. And the odds of all of them coming together feels very low, but Lindenwood have to get back to the point and they have to win the fight first. That is the first thing that they have to do no matter what. They just, of course, can't lose the map right now. If they do, of course, no chance of winning it later.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a struggle. They're gonna get this beat, and they probably have to use it to sustain once they hit the point, just to keep them alive. And by the time that happens, another Nano Blade will be online. So it's gonna be pretty difficult, I think, for Lindenwood to pull it. They have to take the Genji out before they can get the Nano off, or they have to take the Nano. They have to take the Ana out before they get the Nano off once again. Gonna be pretty tough, I think, for Lindenwood to pull this back, but it is still doable. Still get picks. They can still stagger that team. They can still figure out a way to do it. It's just gonna be tough.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that is worth noting is because they are running the Tracer and the Sombra, they do have a decent amount of backline access. Like they can always, when they choose to, try and make a play to, for example, dive onto the Ana. If they're trying to stop a Nano Blade, one of the best ways to do it would simply be to take out one of the main components. With this composition, it feels like it would be easier to get the Ana as Euclorian going to change off over to the Doomfist with a Moira swap. 95% they have to touch now. 98, 99, they will get the touch in time. Now they have to win the fight, but Enforcer gonna get the kill. Quick onto Ronan. EMP comes out. Tog kills one. Euclorian gone. Finn almost gone. Ether gone. And the map will indeed go in favor of Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville as they bring it back to 3-2 at the moment, and we will go to game 6.
Yeah, the circumstances for Lindenwood had to be absolutely perfect, and they just couldn't do it. And not to blame them, it was just going to be a really tough situation. Fog really coming through with it this game with all of the blades. The Nano Blade, of course, is very popular staple in Overwatch, but they were able to pull it off, and they did just that and won several fights off of it.
And yeah, Lindenwood, they are now outside of game 5, the first 3 of Oasis, Kings Row, Shambali. Those are maps, the first, of course, being Control, and then the other 2 favoring into either Escort or Hybrid. Unfortunate results on the Flashpoint and the Push. However, back over towards the Hybrid genre, where they have had the success in the series so far. Moving on to the map that is known as Hollywood. Tell us what you think we're going to see in this map.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen a competitive Hollywood game. I'm just not sure. Uh I don't know. Maybe both teams will agree to a Rhine duel and we'll see some Reinhardt.
It's
I
actually
make myself laugh. There's no way that's gonna happen, but wouldn't it be nice?
they actually agreed to not play Nepal, and it's just going to be a Reinhardt 1v1 for game 7.
Yeah.
Uh,
A bunch of
Torbjorn
cheerleaders on the
one, yeah.
side. Or a
Just a ton of
Torbjorn
random
1v1.
character 1v1s, and then whichever team wins 3 of them. Ugh,
Be an interesting end to a show match. There's no stakes, so they can do
true.
whatever they want. They really could.
As yeah, in preparation for Hollywood, we are gonna go ahead and head back to another hopefully rather short break, and we will see you on the other side with Game 6.
right, Xander, we are seeing some different characters coming into this game on Hollywood. We're seeing a Torbjorn and an Ash, and we're seeing an Echo and a Cassidy.
I say, we'll have to keep an eye on these as Echo is already gone. Sojourn is in.
Yep.
As Echo is apparently not the play. Might have just been, of course, a little bit of a gimmick there. See over the wall, get a little bit of poke damage, similar to as we see a lot of Symmetra. But regardless, already past the choke point, as SIEU not really trying to play SIUE. Oh, actually, Finn gonna find a crazy shot to Enforcer. It's a 5v4 on the control if they decide to rush it. Torb is up on the high ground. Tog trying to find some value up top. Is actually gonna find a headshot onto Ronan. Healer is down for the side of Lindenwood. They have to try and be careful now. Gore gonna find the kill onto Zippy. Now it is an advantage for the side of the defending Southern Illinois. Now they have to back away. Lindenwood simply must wait for the players to recover. As for the moment, Southern Illinois will hold with no question.
The Torb flank goes crazy. Gets that shot onto Ronan right away. Got a charged railgun shot, goes away. Not quite able to use it just yet. But Finn, the human, gonna have almost both tank ults online here. Really just dry right now. Kind of boring, if you could say that.
Yeah, it's just once again fighting on point. Have to keep an eye on that Sigma Gravitic Flux coming up soon, 89%. Same thing with the Terra Surge. These tanks are very, very close to ulting. Gore has it if they choose to use it. It's going to be Finn breaking away that Frisbee. Gore getting all that damage tanked up, but basically completely full health. So much healing is now going to go in. Terra Surge, I believe, has 5 players inside the midst, and it will be a double kill for it. Goodbye, Baptiste. Goodbye, Sojourn. Cannot quite get out of it in time, as now the Javelin Throw is going to go inside, and now it's going to be tried to escape. Zippy can't get out. Ether, only player to make it back to the spawn, and with 2 minutes to go, Lindenwood have not made a convincing attack yet.
Use any ults though, that's a big thing for them. They switched it up to the Ash. They have 4 ultimates online. Gonna see something similar from SIUE, however. We have both support ults. We have almost that Torb, almost that Bob. Gonna have, well, Gore just used his ult as well, so gonna have that tank advantage for Linwood, but not much else. The ults are pretty similar other than that.
Now Ant Matrix coming out. They're trying to find a play to kill this Orisa. They need the damage, and they are going to get a decent bit of control on the point. Ult comes out now. Bob is going to try and wreak some havoc as they're not able to get 33%. Can't get that tick, as now it's going to be an Ant Matrix for the defensive side of Southern Illinois University. Now they're trying to make a play. They're backing away. Lindenwood are going through these little caverns, these caves of halls into the back of sight. Now Gravitic Flux comes up. They're going to try and lift up several. Going to get at least 2 up in the air. And it is going to be Ronan getting away with the kill on Tara. Now Euchlorian gonna barely get healed up. Now Overclock comes out. Finn the Human 1. Finn the Human 2. Finn the Human comes up crazy. Overclock straight into the railgun shots. Removes both a DPS and a support from the side of Southern Illinois. And now they're fighting in. Accretion comes out to the back line trying to hit onto the Orisa. Now Finn the Human disruptor shot. Goodbye Madison. Skiri go. And goodbye Gore's Orisa. Torbjorn turret is dead. And Lindenwood, after a minute 20 fight, are finally able to win and secure point A.
Finn takes this high ground from SIUE. They don't even really notice until he takes out 2, takes out 3, and then the 4th. A huge fight for Finn the Human there. You got to switch from the Sigma to the Zarya from Euchlorian. We're actually switching it up
Keep an eye on
all
Lindenwood's
together
comp.
for Lindenwood. Going to be a slight ult advantage going into the next fight for SIUE, but not by much. We've got the Torb ult, and we've got the Terra Surge incoming as well. They can hold this high ground as much as they want, but that Terra, not going to do much with it if you stay on that high ground. She's going to have to go down. She pulls it in, not quite catching much. They try to use the Molten Core on it, but doesn't do what they wanted it to do.
Yeah, they tried to make that play. Terra Surge, Molten Core, they wanted something big. Ton of damage, guaranteed kills. Unfortunately, they aren't layered correctly. They get out of the Terra Surge before there's even a threat of death from the Molten Core. And now Finn finding kills once again. Enforcer taken out of the fight prematurely. 70% ult on this Sojourn. Hunting down anything playable as now it's going to be Tog jumping on the back line. Euchlorian, though, on the front line kills Pyrocat. And now Euchlorian on the front line takes away both supports as Ronan kills Tog. Zippy kills the tank, and Lindenwood, after a rather shaky point A, are rolling straight on the way to the first escort checkpoint with no issues.
We're seeing a lot of good ult economy for Lindenwood. We're seeing almost everything on the board and almost capping this 3rd point. Monkey comes out from Gore. He switches it up yet again, but gonna die just like that. Meanwhile, Lindenwood looks like they're gonna cap this point with no contest.
And indeed they are. They didn't really get any resistance the entirety of that point as Enforcer seemingly borderline accepted the death there, awaited it there on the point, couldn't contest. Ronan kills out Tog, and now Lindenwood, after basically being in overtime on point A, 2 minutes 40 to get from the first checkpoint on Escort to the end of the map.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of ultimates online as well. They've got the Death Blossom. They've can Tog, I think, switches it up from the Tracer to the Sojourn. Have to see what Lindenwood chooses to do first. There's quite a few options on the board for them.
Yeah, with just so many ultimates available, you could basically do anything. It's going to be Zippy. Death Blossom gets immediately taken down, and now they're going to throw down the Amp Matrix. Now Bobkin's going to come out as well. Bob gets taken down immediately. Finn, the human headshot with the railgun. Not really much aim there, as it is going to be the Kitsune Rush now. Gore going to get the kill onto Ronan. Finn, the human, very, very, very low. Going to barely get away for the moment. It is Euchlorian also tanking up quite a bit. Finn, the human, headshot to Enforcer. Ash is dead once again, but now it's going to be Tog Sojourn getting that kill onto Finn with the counter headshot. Reaper backs away to spawn to heal, and as for now, Lindenwood, they are stumped once again.
Only used two things there. Unfortunately, Zippy's ult, I know he was going for the Ash there, but she saw it. She foresaw what he was trying to do, coached him away, hit the headshot, all she really needed to do. We've got a lot more ults on the board, though, for this next one.
Oh, Grav comes out. It's just going to get Gore for now. They're going to try and nuke the Zarya, and they are able to get that kill in time. They have no tank now. It is going to be the overclock coming out from Targ. They do now have the choice. Lucio ult comes out. Finn the human debating heavily when to use this overclock. If they use it now, 3 meters left, 2 meters left. Finn the human, overclock still available whenever they choose to bring it out. Comes out now, and now it's going to be a game of kill the tank. Gore can't touch the point in time. Not that he would have saved the round. And with 1 minute and 1 second to go, Lindenwood find their third.
Fine, they get it with over a minute, which means that if the other side doesn't get any time at the end, if SIUE doesn't cap at the end, then they have no time at all. We'll have a minute. SIUE will not have any. So that's a very lucky timing for Lindenwood to have a minute and a second. That's very fortunate for them. So what are we gonna see SIUE attack with?
I feel like if you're SIUE, you know that you know the time issue is there, and you're going to need to win the points, at least not slow. And I feel like the comp they have right now kind of shows aspects of that. They definitely have a decent amount of backline access. They're going to try and close these fights out quick, get onto the biggest threat targets, close out the Baptiste, close out the Cassidy, maybe close out the Echo, and kill these characters quick and efficiently, and try and snowball that into fight wins.
Definitely. They're back with Tog on the Genji and then Enforcer on the Sombra. So they're doing a full dive here. They have the Ana Brig as well. I'm interested to see who they might be diving on in this situation. I'm guessing their best choice is going to be Ronan, going to be that Baptiste, or maybe Zippy Bloom, but going to struggle with every other dive here.
Yeah, they have 4 minutes for this opening push, as we'll have to see where they make their first commitment to. As you see, Winston going up the stairs. Actually, Genji almost gets completely nuked. Echo on the high ground trying to put down some damage as we're going to get sighted out on top of the building. Not really doing a good job of hiding behind the pillar. Of course, blocking out the occasional shot or two as Gore taken down by Cassidy. Can't drop down the shield in time. And the tank is ripped away from the side of Southern Illinois, as now the rest of the team left to fled or die. Pyro dead, Madison dead. Genji attempts to escape and will make it out in time, but Southern Illinois completely stumped on their first push.
That is true, and almost no ult charge on the board for just about any of them. We see both Finn and Zippy Bloom at about the same ult charge on DPS. Once again, going to be another dry fight going into this. The Monkey gets rocked. The Monkey's half HP. Going to jump up. Aether's going to deny it.
And now it is
And
actually going to be
Tog.
Tog taking a quick death here. Once again, 5v4 in favor of Lindenwood. Have to be careful of this brig to an aspect behind. However, Accretion goes on to Enforcer, dead quickly. Madison going to get taken down by the Echo. And now it is Winston running away with the team. Pyrocat going to get taken down here. Cannot shield at all. Winston jumps away. And it is going to be Genji actually trading back the Echo. Unfortunately, the Echo is not enough to siege the site immediately. And with 2 minutes 20 to go, it is going to be a quick push required from Southern Illinois.
Yeah, Finn's a little bit deep there. He's going to get back after SIUE is regrouped. The boop comes back out onto Gore. He's not going to be able to get that dive off, but Enforcer takes out Zippy Bloom anyway. Doesn't need the monkey to take him down.
Yeah, Euclorian has ult, Echo has ult, very close to the Baptiste ult. It is going to be the Gravitic Flux. It gets the Ana up in the air. It is going to be the Ana Nano. Then now going on down, Euclorian going to get the kill with Accretion. Now it's going to be the Blade coming out, going to kill around most of the players. Tog going to get completely crazy on the killing spree. Of course, the Nano Blade, or delayed Nano Blade, I suppose, is going to walk through the team once again. And they now have 4 minutes for the first escort.
We see a switch to the Diva. That could be an interesting answer to the Nanoblade. They didn't have much else besides a Sleep Dart, which is tough to hit. The Diva, though, can use that bomb to clear that space for the Nanoblade. That's what they have right now, and the answer that SIUE has is going to be Nanoblade to just about everything Lindenwood does. They have enough time to win enough fights to get to that second point, to get to that third point, just winning off Nanoblades, if they have to.
Yeah, Lindenwood, they're trying to keep this car held at bay under this bridge. Winston going up high as now it is actually going to be an ult from the Echo diving onto the Ash as a Winston. You're going to try and make a play here. Cassidy ult comes out, Deadeye looking for something as Euclorian gets a kill on Tog. Finn going to get that kill onto Enforcer. Zip going to kill out Gore. And now it is the Echo ult jumping in, gonna have to back away now as the ult goes away. But with 3 minutes 10, Southern Illinois are stopped.
Are stopped at like they have plenty of time. It's likely they'll try to win with the ults they have, but when all else fails, they'll try to use that that Nano Blade as well. Euclorian almost has that bomb. Seeing both support ults from Lindenwood, Finn taken down by a headshot by Enforcer. That's going to be a pretty nice shot, as they say. Ether headed in with that rally.
And yeah, it's actually going to be a double rally, but I believe Pyro actually just gets knocked off of the bridge there, off the building. As now it is a bit of fear as Genji dashing around 70% on the Opa Zippy, actually going to find the kill with the grenade on to the Ana. And now gonna have to try and play very, very careful. Zippy can find another kill. Crazy performance on the Cassidy, and able to take down the Bob, and does a decent bit of work into the Brig as Pyrocoat goes down, but Tog gonna go crazy in the back line. Ronin has been deleted, but now it is gonna be Finn Rail shot into Tog, and Zippy on the Cassidy once again, taking away the Ash. 2 minutes to go, and there's just not enough progress for Southern Illinois yet.
Just yet, but they're 8% away from that magical ultimate, from that Nano. That's what they've been using for quite some time. So we're gonna see maybe the Nano Blade comes out. Likely the Nano Blade comes out. They could use Zippy could use his ultimate on it. Could use the Deadeye to try to kite him away. But you know, anything could happen here against that Nano Blade.
Yeah, it is basically a game of bridge wars at the moment. And now it is going to be the Nano Blade coming out onto the back line. Tog for 1, Tog for 2, Tog for 3 before being traded away by the Ana. Now it is going to be Euclorian trying to tank everything up. Gore gets the kill. And now Diva trying to find ways to heal. Zippy 1 HP as well. Trying to do whatever they can to recover HP before playing for this contestation. And they are going to just try and play it out. They will indeed get the contest before the capture. Nano Blade did not win them the point, which means that Southern Illinois have a single minute to capture this objective.
Got to figure something out here. They have to get a good dive off. It's going to be really difficult into the comp that Lindenwood has. They have get out of jail cards, and they have, you know, the stun from Cassidy. Going to be hard to get a good dive off, but the Enforcer doesn't need a dive. He hits the headshot on Finn the Human just like that, giving them the advantage in this fight.
And yeah, Euclorian's going to go on to the escort cart. Going to try and stay alive as long as possible. Has the self-destruct, does to opt to use it. Edwardsville going to go ahead and pop a bubble down. Euclorian can't make a play out of it. And they are going to go ahead and grab this point. And they now have a minute 55 to capture into this last escort stretch.
Don't count them out. They don't need a Nano Blade to win these points. They're able to do it with a clean headshot from Enforcer. Lindenwood not looking at a ton of ults here. They have the support ults that they need, but so does SIUE. To see a Bob and a Primal come in here pretty soon from SIUE. Try to take some of that space, get some of those picks off with it.
And yeah, down to a minute 30. They're slowly pushing. They're just about to make it to the corner of the last stretch. 4 ultimates available for the side of Edwardsville. Genji ult at 83. Now it is going to be the Primal Rage deep onto the background, trying to make the play onto Euchlorian. They have him slept, trying to zone him out. Now it is going to be the kill onto Ronan from the Winston. And now the rally joining the team. It's going to be the counter rally coming out. And now Bob coming out to join the fight as well. It is just as many ultimates as they can throw out right now, saving on the Nano Blade. Madison going to get the kill onto Euchlorian. A minute left to go. Linden would have more time, even if they cap right now. Nano Blade still available, and it is likely going to be a 3-3 overtime. As now Finn the Human waiting for the time, last possible second is going to make it in. Overclock comes out now. It is going to be the Nano Blade coming out to try and make as much happen as possible, but the Sojourn going to come out. Deli comes out now as well. Can the Cassidy find much? Cannot find anything. Tog with a triple. Gore for 1. Euchlorian gets a kill, loses his mech. Not going to find anything here on the later half, and they stalled it to 28 seconds before Edwardsville were able to make the third cap.
Sadly couldn't hold them out until the end. Couldn't get that guaranteed draw or win for Lindenwood, but we are going into overtime for the 6th map of the series. Been a long game, Xander. We're seeing SIU is going to be attacking first. What do you think we're going to see from them? Probably the Nano Blade, right?
I would expect to see a very similar comp, but it's worth noting that Nano Blade isn't that cheap of an ultimate combo. Getting them ready in just a minute isn't ever going to be guaranteed, but at the same time, they've found success with Genji, they've found success with Ana. The characters don't just exist for the ult combination, and it's definitely what they prefer playing.
That's true, and they play it fairly well here. We're going to see a Torb come out from Lindenwood this time around. That's a good answer to the Genji, I think. They might have trouble with the Ashe there, but that's a good answer to the problems they're having with Tog and even with Gore a little bit.
And it is definitely worth noting, Lindenwood are looking at this as an entirety overtime. They are looking to close the series out here in 4-2 fashion here in Game 6. They're looking to stall as much of this minute as they can and then get a team fight to close it out. If they can win team fights before the end of the timer, they're of course always going to be fine with that, but the priority is cutting the progress as short as possible. As we already see a bit of ult farming, 20% on that Gravitic Flux just moments in, as Accretion just poke coming out from the Sigma, already just trying to play for damage and stalling for time, halfway burnt already.
Yeah, they're taking their time over there, SIUE, not getting a lot of ult charge, but just kind of going the long way, maybe waiting for Enforcer to get a pick off, get a headshot.
Euchlorian Accretion is going to kill Pyrocat, and now they're going to Frisbee onto the backline. Winston Jump going to try and make the play. It is going to be Enforcer putting up some good damage. Zippy Bloom going to get taken down. It is going to be the all-out fight now. It is Accretion, however, Euchlorian, MVP of the fight, takes down Enforcer. The Accretion for 1, a melee for 2, and now Lindenwood, the Lucio has made it back. Tog gets taken so low, but isn't going to get killed out, and Lindenwood still are playing on the high ground. Now it's going to be another Accretion stun. Genji dashes up. Tog so low. It's going to be the Nano coming out already onto Tog. 97%. The Blade is going to come out in this fight, and it is 97% there, 98% there, and now the Blade is available, but Gravitic Flux going to try and throw him up in the air, not going to find it, and now Gore dead, Madison dead, but it is Tog taken down by Euchlorian! The Tracer is gone, and they will not get a tick! Euchlorian removes the prio target at every stage of the overtime. A beautiful, beautiful performance of overtime by the Lindenwood team.
Euchlorian MVP of that round for sure. He did all he needed to do and then some. Like I said, MVP of that round, and now it's either drawable or winnable. Not a single tick taken for SIUE.
Wow. I wish it was earlier in the day so I could have yelled for that louder, but it's 10 p.m. in my dorm and I'm not about to start getting citations. But what an absolutely insane performance by Euclorian. Finds the opening pick for the advantage, finds the chain pick to keep the player advantage, shuts down the Dragon Blade the second it comes out. Absolute insane performance. Of course, from the entire Lindenwood team, he didn't 1v5 the entire play. But the key plays, Euclorian's hands every step of the way, beautifully played.
Yeah, I think SIUE wanted to use the nano to build the blade and then get the blade off right after, but it just took him a little bit too long to get that blade up, and the nano blade wasn't going to come out regardless, and it just didn't. That ended up not working for them. And then of course Euclorian, but we are getting started with this potentially final round of the series with a minute and a half on the clock. Lindenwood has almost no time to pull it off.
And Lindenwood, all they need to close out this hours-long series is get a third of this point. Damage already going big, Gore taking quite a lot, but Finn taking a lot up top as well. Trying to play it out, they have to deal damage and find a target to kill. It's going to be Gore taking a lot of damage, Javelin going to get blocked out. Damage on Gore.
We're seeing just a little bit of a dry fight here. Not a ton to be done.
Tog is dead! Tog is dead to Ronin!
Tog is dead to Ronin.
And now they have to
That's
play
gonna
on
be
the side.
insane.
Healing comes out. It's going to be the Frisbee going out. They're trying to do as much as they can to keep Gore alive. Gore is taking up so much damage here. Tracer changed over, and now they're trying to run back as quick as possible. The Dynamite, though, is going to kill Enforcer on the deep back line. And now it's going to be the Accretion, Euclorian throwing them all off site. But on point is the entirety of Lindenwood. Lindenwood going to take away the 33%, and they do it! Call it a C9, call it a win, call it whatever you want. 3 players alive on the side of Southern Illinois Edwardsville, and they can't touch in time, and the round is over. 4-2 victory as Euclorian, the well-deserved play of the game.
Absolutely. I just want to sit in silence and watch. Absolutely incredible.
Consistently
Did everything he
finding
needed to
kills.
do there. Held it down. If he didn't hold it down in the way he did, we would have seen a map 7 there, maybe, possibly. We could have seen a map 7 there, but we would have at least seen SIU take that. Quite a series, Xander. Quite a series.
And yeah, I will say, even if Southern Illinois Edwardsville are able to touch there, I do think Lindenwood are going to finish that point off. They have a massive advantage in the fight. But regardless, what happened, happened. They didn't get on the point in the time that they needed to for the third time in the series. And it's simply what happened. I mean, it is what it is. Lindenwood, they played a beautiful, beautiful minute of defense there and then follow it off with a solid push. They found a pick on the form of Torb. They waited for the right play. They jumped up with Ash and Baptiste. They found the pick that they needed to make, and they get the kill, close the fight out, close the map out, close the series out, and Lindenwood take the showdown 4-2.
And we are going to go on a short break. Afterwards, we are going to have an interview with the man himself, Euclorian. We will see you guys right afterwards.
map. It's worth noting that neither team got all 3 checkpoints. Neither team
Very
went through
true.
the entire map and then played a perfect defense. Both of them were struggling a decent bit on offense. Lindenwood were just able to find a couple more key plays in that second half of that first checkpoint, and that's what led to them getting that win there instead of finding those holds later in the map. All of these maps today were incredibly close, and single abilities could have made the games go either way.
Absolutely. That's just competitive over. Where he was looking, who he was prioritizing, made all the difference.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a very intense season.
6 p.m. We will be back here on the LU Esports Twitch channel to give you your coverage for that match. Should be another good one, Xander.
Absolutely. Definitely looking at one of the higher quality seeds teams in the conference. I believe Oakland is the second best team in the East 5 conference. And so it'll definitely be an exciting match to see how Lindenwood, who had such a close game with the team just above them, and then coming off of a very strong series in what we saw tonight, will be very, very exciting to see how they can do against a higher seeded opponent.
I think that will be very exciting. They play at a high level, so it could go either way. It really could.
Yeah, appreciate you all again for joining us. Thank you all of you guys who stayed with us through the entirety of these 6 matches. Again, thank you all for joining us. Hope to see you again on next Tuesday for that incredibly exciting best of 5 match. And other than that, I think that's about it. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope to see you then.